Okay, so hello everyone. Seems like today is working for everyone, so I can understand. Not many of them are actually here, so not to worry, right? Whatever number of people we have, we will continue, and timings won't change, right? Timings will be same because there are other things that we have to manage. So timings will be same only. I would suggest everyone, like, if it's possible, try to join live sessions. If not, for one session you can definitely manage. I'll anyhow share the recordings with you. Okay. So guys, today we gonna cover one of the very interesting topics actually. First of all, let me share my screen. Yes. So I just want you all to tell me if the screen is visible to everyone. Uh,
Yes, it is visible.
the only idea was to take the strings from very basic was like I already had a notebook in place, so I'll share that notebook with you. But now in this particular case, we'll be writing a lot of codes, right? So today, because see, when we talk about the strings, so you can just imagine it is just like a text, right? And when you say a text, so text is what basically everything that you see around the world now, or everything that you see, it's in a textual format, right? You talk about emails, you talk about social media platforms, you talk about let's say Twitters and all the handles, emails, school mails, every single thing that you see is completely related to what you call it as a string, right? A simple string. Okay. So now, let me see if I am not visible. Guys, am I visible to you? Everyone? Oh, yes, yes, great. Fine. Yeah, okay. So now, now see, guys, before starting anything, right? So first of all, I just wanted to take a very, very, let's say, just wanted to explain you in very simple terms what basically the strings are. See, though we already seen a few things about the string, let's say in the last session we talked a bit about it, right? What exactly the strings are, and how exactly there are few functionalities that we follow with respect to strings. तो सिंपल चीजें हमने ऑलरेडी देख लगी है. तो अभी यहाँ पे हमें क्या देखना है सबसे पहले कि व्हेन यू टॉक अबाउट द स्ट्रिंग, सो उसका आज के जमाने में रिलेवेंस क्या है. सो लेट्स से इफ यू टेल मी ओके व्हाट इज द रिलेवेंस ऑफ दिस पर्टिकुलर स्ट्रिंग इन टुडेज वर्ल्ड, व्हाई इट इज रिक्वायर्ड, राइट? नाउ इफ यू जस्ट सी, इफ यू टॉक अबाउट अ वेरी ट्रेडिशनल स्ट्रिंग्स, राइट, तो आप देखोगे कि मैक्सिमम प्लेसेस पे दिल स्टार्ट विद सिंपल थिंग. ओके, स्ट्रिंग की ये फंक्शनलिटीज है, इतना होने के बाद दिस इज हाउ यू शुड डू इट एंड देन दैट्स जस्ट ओवर, राइट? बट नाउ वी नीड टू थिंक अबाउट, think from a perspective where we need to understand how to structure these particular strings. Now see, when you talk in terms of AI, right, when you talk in terms of generative AI, natural language processing, so all these terms, right? So some or other way, how, what exactly they are, somehow they are just trying, just making sure, just a second. Yes, views are fine. Okay, so somehow they're just making sure whatever things that you're writing or doing with the chat gpt or any kind of model, those are written in something called as prompts. Prompts means what, guys? A simple english, right? A simple prompts. It is written in simple prompts. Now when you talk about these prompts, okay, means what? In simple terms, you are passing a text, right? You are just passing simple text to your gpt. Now understand, when you talk about how exactly we manipulate the strings with respect to real world scenarios, there are few applications that we talk about. Let's say you talk about chat gpt prompt. Okay, that is a string. Okay, then you talk about, let's say, again a langchain prompt. Let's say simple thing, these are all the use cases that we talk about, and just like some ai use cases that we are talking about. Okay, then we talk about user query. Let's say a question, a person is trying to ask certain thing, वो किसमें पूछ रहा है, कुछ लिख के भेज रहा है, right? That is also a string. So in simple terms, what, guys, whatever you are doing in this particular world, every single thing is related to the string. there are a lot of different methods that we will check with respect to string. क्या क्या अलग अलग methods है, उन मेथड्स का हम लोग यूज कैसे करते हैं, एंड एट द एंड ऑफ द टाइम यू विल हैव अ वेरी वेरी इंटरेस्टिंग यूज केसेस सॉल्व, राइट? सो वो हम लोग सब साथ में करेंगे, एंड देन फॉर टुमारो आई विल हैव सम अनदर गुड यूज केस फॉर यू. सो दैट यूज केस, सो आई hope everyone just stay till the last. Okay, and then at the end of the time see like whether or not you are able to solve that particular thing or not, in very, very simple terms. Okay, so now there are different functionalities that we talk about when it comes to strings. Now the functions are like join functions, lower functions, split functions, find functions, in functions, strip functions. So there are multiple broad range of functions that actually string provides. तो सबसे पहले हम लोग क्या करेंगे, वी विल स्टार्ट फ्रॉम द वेरी बेसिक्स, राइट, जिसको हम लोग बोलते हैं स्ट्रिंग फॉर्मेटिंग. स्ट्रिंग फॉर्मेटिंग. नाउ जब हम लोग स्ट्रिंग फॉर्मेटिंग की बात करते हैं, लेट्स सपोज व्हाट एग्जैक्टली इट इज, राइट, उसकी उसका यूज क्या है. आफ्टर दैट, as we go in details about every single function, we will try to understand what is the main use case, what is the use of that particular function, how it is used in every kind of codes and kind of codes that you write on a regular basis, and how you can optimize that in much more better way. Okay, so now abhi kya hoga na, let's say you might see all these functions might see very very simple and easy. Okay, one more thing, there are a lot of different functions. When I say lot of different function means what? All are not required. Not every single function that you see is required. Okay. Second thing, whatever functions that we learn, you do not need to by heart those functions. किसी को भी उसको याद करने की जरूरत नहीं है. You don't have to worry. उसको डरना नहीं है कि let's say such a huge amount of functions are there. अब कौन सा कब यूज करना है, आपको क्या उसको याद रखना पड़ेगा. तो ऑल दिस पर्टिकुलर थिंग्स यू विल अंडरस्टैंड थ्रू द यूज केस. कि मतलब ना ही आपको बाय हार्ट करना है, ना ही आपको यू हैव टू बी स्कैर्ड अबाउट समथिंग कि ओके ये हमसे होगा कि नहीं होगा, कौन सा कब यूज करना है, क्या करना है. नाउ सी दीज ऑल थिंग्स विल कम विद प्रैक्टिस. बट आज ही यू विल अंडरस्टैंड 50% ऑफ द वे कि हाँ, व्हेन यू शुड यूज व्हाट काइंड ऑफ एप्लीकेशन, राइट. और जैसे जैसे यू विल कीप ऑन सॉल्विंग द यूज केसेस, आपको वो चीज यू विल जस्ट गेट मोर कंफर्टेबल विद, राइट. नाउ I hope, guys, you have just understood whatever things that, let's say we have discussed in a very, very simple terms. So now let's start and understand what exactly are string formats. Now, see, where are those? Let me first of all, okay, string formatting. Now, guys, just take a simple scenario, okay? बहुत एक simple आपको आसान भाषा में मैं I'll just tell you. Okay, let's suppose you are let's say sitting in front of, let's say, teacher, right? Let's suppose you have gone for an interview somewhere. Okay, and उन्होंने वहां पे आपको पूछा, okay, tell me your first name. Example, आपने बोला सौरभ. Okay, he just said, okay, just tell me your first name, or let's say last name, or let's tell me your name, what you do. Okay, and okay, let's say these are the three questions we have. So now tell me, if you write something like this, Saurabh, your surname and data scientist, right? And let's say DS. Okay, and let's say someone along with you is there, who's also coming there for the interview, and he said, hello, my name is this first name. Let me see if you have. Screen is not shared. Hey, it is shared, right? Okay, just a second. Wait. I can see your screen is been shared. Oh, I think I might have. So from the first itself, it's not shared. Oh, I'm sorry, guys. You could have just told me at the same time. Now it's fine, everyone.
Yes.
Okay, so from the very first only, it's not shared. What
Yes.
would have told me. See, guys, whenever you don't see the screen, just tell me at the same point. I might have forgotten. Okay, so till now, what we said, whatever things that we discussed about, all are related to the strings. Like we write the prompts; those prompts are written in the string. You write user queries; those are written in the string. In simple terms, you write with your hands, everything is written in the string. Whatever you do is in the string. You write the tweets, that is a string. You write chat with your friends, that is a string. Means what? See, on a very first day, what I told you guys, 70% of the data that is produced in the today's world is in form of text. And in simple terms, what is text? A string. So now, therefore, maximum number of times you will be dealing with a lot of different functionalities that are purely available and purely related to only strings. Okay. So I hope now, this simple thing is now pretty clear to everyone. Now let's move forward. Yeah. Now see. So now understand here. See, understand the scenario. What I told you. Let's say you are just going for some what I told you. Yeah, let's say you are just going for some interview, right? And let's say they asked you, okay, tell me your first name, your last name, and what you do. Three simple things. And then what you did, you just told, okay, Saurabh, down, and DS. That's it. You just told these many things. There is someone other with you. So what he said is, okay, yeah, hello, my name is, let's say my name is this. I know this SD, and I work as a AI. Now, guys, understand which one of you think looks very better. Which one of you think you think like is looking much more better to let's say other one. Definitely the second choice, right? Why? Because now he's telling about a very descriptive thing. Okay, now he's trying to tell whatever things he's trying to ask. They are now in a very descriptive way. Okay, or whatever he's writing, that is in a very descriptive way. Means in simple terms, what guys? String formatting is a way to write, let's say whatever you have, let's say whatever string you're writing or whatever thing you're writing in a much more better and more elegant way. ओके उसको हम लोग एक बहुत आसान भाषा में क्या बोलते हैं, वी टॉक दैट एज स्ट्रिंग फॉर्मेटिंग. तो अभी जैसे जैसे हम लोग आगे एग्जांपल्स आगे देखेंगे, यू विल अंडरस्टैंड लाइक हाउ एग्जैक्टली द स्ट्रिंग फॉर्मेटिंग एक्चुअली वर्क्स. नाउ जैसे लेट्स सपोज नाउ मैंने सेम एग्जांपल आई जस्ट टेक, ओके लेट्स से आई जस्ट टुक द सेम एग्जांपल. लेट्स से सबसे पहले मैंने क्या बोला, लेट्स क्रिएट टू डिफरेंट वेरिएबल्स. लेट्स से फर्स्ट नेम, ओके नेम, एंड लेट्स से सैम. ओके एंड लेट्स टेक लेट्स से कोर्स, से कोर्स, से AI. Okay, and let's suppose last name, or let's say these two are fine for now. Just understand now what we are trying to say. See, the first way to do string formatting is called as concatenation. Concatenation. Now, eventually you will understand what this concatenation means. It's just like adding two numbers. Concat two different things. दो चीजों को आप जोड़ लो, उसको हम लोग बोलते हैं concatenation. Okay, बहुत simple terms. Now see, what I'll do is now understand here. Let's say I'll create one more variable, and now I want to, let's suppose now if I write, let's say print name कॉमा लेट्स से कोर्स. जैसे मैंने दोनों चीजें मैंने प्रिंट करी, लेट्स से सैम एंड एआई, इतना दो चीज आया. लेकिन व्हाट आई वांट टू डू इज आई जस्ट वांट टू राइट दिस इन मच मोर बेटर वे. मुझे ऐसा नहीं लिखना है, मुझे थोड़ा बेटर वे में लिखना है. तो देन व्हाट आई डू इज लेट्स से आई क्रिएट वन मोर लेट्स से वेरिएबल कॉल्ड लेट्स से मैसेज. मैसेज, okay, anything you can create. And let's say if I write something like this, let's say, now see guys how I'm doing, hello plus name plus your courses plus sam plus course. Now, in very simple terms, what I did, guys, I simply added the four different strings together. मैंने क्या बोला, देखो मुझे अब देखो ये नेम एंड कोर्स ये तो मेरे वेरिएबल्स है, राइट? तो मैं अगर उनको ऐसा भी लिख दूंगा तो भी वो प्रिंट होने ही वाला है, राइट? व्हाई? बिकॉज नाउ इट इज डिफाइंड ओवर हियर, राइट? हमने इसको यहाँ पे डिफाइन किया है. वी हैव डिफाइंड दिस पर्टिकुलर नेम हियर, सो नेम विल कम. इफ आई राइट लेट्स से लास्ट नेम, अब ये यहाँ पे आएगा क्या? इट वोंट कम. व्हाई? बिकॉज इट इज नॉट डिफाइंड. Okay, so understand here, whenever I try to write any variable, when it is defined, you will always get that particular variable over there. उसका वैल्यू आपको यहाँ पे प्रिंट होके मिलेगा. एट द सेम टाइम अगर मैंने ऐसा कुछ किया, लेट्स से हेलो ऐसा कुछ लिखा, तो फिर क्या ये रन होगा? क्योंकि अभी ये क्या बन गया, अभी ये स्ट्रिंग सिंपल स्ट्रिंग बन गया। नाउ दिस इनटू स्ट्रिंग फॉर्मेट, बट यहाँ पे अभी ये क्या है, नाउ यू आर ट्रीटिंग दिस एज अ वेरिएबल, बट ये यहाँ पे बोल रहा है कि ये डिफाइन ही नहीं है, इसका मीन्स दिस लास्ट नेम इज नॉट डिफाइंड ओनली, क्योंकि आपने देख सकते हो कहीं पे हमने उसको डिफाइन ही नहीं किया है, राइट। सो सिंपली उसने क्या बोला, इट इज नॉट डिफाइंड। ओके, तो अभी मैंने यहाँ पे क्या किया, सिंपली हेलो प्लस नेम प्लस योर कोर्स इज प्लस कोर्स, योर कोर्स इज प्लस कोर्स। मीन्स इन वेरी वेरी सिंपल टर्म्स व्हाट आई डिड गाइस, आई सिंपली टोल्ड देम कि देखो यार, मुझे ऐसा तो प्रिंट बिल्कुल नहीं चाहिए, राइट। अब जैसे मान लो, लेट्स सपोज अगर आप कोई लेट्स से कोई आप लेट्स से आप कोई एप्लीकेशन रन कर रहे हो, ठीक है, लेट्स से योर यूजर इज यूजिंग योर एप्लीकेशन। अगर आप यहाँ पे उसको ऐसा पूछोगे कि सिर्फ नेम, लास्ट नेम, समथिंग लाइक दिस, मे बी यू कैन आस्क समथिंग लाइक व्हाट, ओके प्लीज एंटर योर फर्स्ट नेम। Usually banks will ask you like that, right? Okay, enter the first name, enter the last name, enter what you are liking, what kind of course you like, what kind of thing you are expecting from us. So it can be from a different field. We are not talking about specifically in a banking field, but it can be anything, right? So just imagine, what you want to imagine is, what you should imagine, how exactly we ask a certain question. Okay, now see here. What I said, hello, name, your course is, and let's say course. Now if I print this, let's say if I now print this, दीज आर कमेंटिंग, राइट। लेट्स से यहाँ पे हैशटैग आपने ऐड किया तो ये क्या बन गई, कमेंट बन गई। जैसे हमने लास्ट लेक्चर में टॉक्ट अबाउट कमेंट, राइट। तो जैसे मान लो अगर कुछ चीज आपको प्रिंट नहीं करनी है टाइमिंग के लिए, और अगर उसको उसको आपको निकालना भी नहीं है, तो आप उसको कमेंट करके रखो, फिर ये रन नहीं होगा। ओके, नाउ सी हियर गाइस, हेलो, ओके, नाउ लेट्स सपोज सी हियर व्हाट हैपेंड, हेलो सैम, योर कोर्स इज एआई। नाउ अभी यहाँ पे क्या हुआ, हेलो भी आ गया, योर कोर्स इज भी आ गया, एंड यहाँ पे आखिरी में आपका कोर्स नेम भी आ गया। ओके, नाउ अभी देखो, अब यहाँ पे क्लियरली देख सकते हो कि डेफिनेटली दिस इज नॉट वेरी वेरी वेल रिटन, राइट। तो आप यहाँ पे और चीज क्या ऐड कर सकते हो, यू कैन ऐड अ स्पेस ओवर हियर। जैसे मान लो कि यहाँ पे मैंने एक स्पेस ऐड की, ओके, फिर यहाँ पे प्लस लिया, ठीक है, फिर आगे हेलो सैम। अब यहाँ पे यूर के यहाँ पे भी विल ऐड वन मोर स्पेस, लेट्स से यहाँ पे है। सी गाइस, नाउ व्हाट यू अंडरस्टूड फ्रॉम हियर, इट इज सिंपली अ लॉजिक बिल्डिंग, इट इज सिंपली अ लॉजिक बिल्डिंग। Okay, so is there nothing very fancy into it, it is just like whatever the way, see, we say no, okay, how can you decorate this particular thing, so it is just like a decoration. Okay, जितना better आप decorate करोगे उतना better दिखेगा, right, got it। Now let's say if I now run it, we'll see here, hello Sam, your course is AI। now यहाँ पे भी आप कर सकते हो एक कोर्स के आगे भी, क्योंकि देखो योर कोर्स के आगे क्या है, एडिशन आप डायरेक्टली इसकी कोर्स की ले रहे हो, तो इसलिए इज एआई इज कमिंग टुगेदर, तो यहाँ पे आप क्या करो, एक और स्पेस ऐड करो, राइट, एंड फिर से प्लस। Okay, so guys, everyone is clear? Like how exactly this concatenation of the string works? It is called as concatenation, concatenation of the strings. मतलब आप multiple strings together आप जोड़ के एक उसको अच्छा sentence और एक अच्छी format में उसको ला रहे हो. That is called as a formatting in Python. Just with the name you can understand, right? Let's say instead of let's say asking first name, ask okay, hey, can you please enter your first name? Now that looks more elegant, right? Instead of just simply saying okay name, it looks much more better. So it's just like the way you want to format it, you can just do it in your own way. Okay. So first of all, guys, did you all understood this till here? All good? Am I audible? Everyone, give a thumbs up if it's fine. Okay. Chalo, I'm expecting everyone just understood this, right? Now see here. Now guys, understand. फॉर्मेटिंग करने के बहुत अलग अलग तरीके हैं। ओके, अभी हमने ये सबसे पहले वाला देखा जो सबसे बेसिक है, राइट। बट गाइज अंडरस्टैंड, दिस पर्टिकुलर थिंग इज नॉट यूज्ड इन द इंडस्ट्रीज मच। अब इसका एक कारण है, अब जैसे मान लो अगर आपको एक बहुत बड़ा पैराग्राफ अगर लिखना है, ओके, बहुत बड़ा आपको पैराग्राफ लिखना है, तो नाउ यू कैन जस्ट इमेजिन, इज इट पॉसिबल टू ऐड लेट्स से प्लस वन प्लस स्पेस प्लस ऑल दिस थिंग्स सो मेनी टाइम्स। मतलब क्या होगा, आप प्लस यहाँ पे ऐड करते ही जाओगे, आप यू विल कीप ऑन एडिंग प्लस 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 लाइक दिस फॉर मल्टीपल टाइम्स, जब तक आपका पूरा स्ट्रिंग खत्म नहीं होता तब तक आप उसको ऐड करते ही रहोगे, ठीक है। तो इट इज जस्ट लाइक गाइज, इट इज नेवर एवर यूज्ड वेरी वेरी वाइडली। हाँ, अगर आपको मान लो कि बहुत छोटी छोटी सेंटेंसेस है, Let's say there are very simple name courses, all simple things are there. So in that kind of scenarios, definitely you can add this particular thing. Okay, but do it by any way, doesn't matter. At the end of the time, you are gonna get the same answer that you're expecting, right guys? So this is the first way of doing your string, let's say formatting. That is the first way. Now second thing that comes is that the method is called as string dot format. str dot format. Guys, ये सारे methods है, right? These are all the methods which is we are using. Okay. So now see guys, string dot format is little bit old method, but very widely used in the industries. ओके, आप इसको बहुत जगह देखोगे, बहुत जगह पे ये बहुत एक्सटेंसिवली बहुत यूज हो रहा है, राइट? अब जैसे मान लो कि इसको हाउ एग्जैक्टली वी डू इट, मतलब इसको कैसे हम लोग करते हैं. नाउ सी, विल टेक द सेम थिंग, राइट? विल टेक द सेम थिंग. ओके, लेट्स से नेम एंड दिस. नाउ द ओनली थिंग दैट विल चेंज इज सपोज नाउ इफ आई डू मैसेज. Okay, I already got a suggestion, but yeah, I can just tell you, explain first. Now see here, what we do is now, first of all, we'll write everything into the, like in commas. So how will you start? First of all, hello. Then let's say I'll add this space over here. Means what? This is a placeholder that you are adding. It's called as a placeholder. Up, पहले I'll write everything and then I'll tell you. Let's say welcome to the course of, let's say welcome to the course of, let's say, okay. And now what I'm doing is, let's suppose guys, once this is done, now simply I'm adding dot, I'm writing format, and in bracket let's say whatever names or variables that you have passed. यहाँ पे हमने क्या किया है, नेम और कोर्स पास किया है. ओके, अब जैसे मैं मैसेज को प्रिंट करूंगा तो क्या आएगा, ऑटोमेटिकली अंडरस्टैंड. ये जो स्ट्रिंग फॉर्मेटिंग जो चलता है ना, वट एवर फॉर्मेट फंक्शन दैट डज, what it will do is, whatever format that you have written the variables over here, according to that format it will fill the places over here. Means format, my name is first, so name will come over here, and course is second, so course will come in the second placeholder. Now if I run it, see here guys, hello Sam, welcome to the course of AI. Very simple thing. आपको नहीं, like over here, you don't need to add all the plus signs, unnecessarily adding the spaces, so that's very hectic, right? So here you can see such a elegant way we were able to add that particular thing. Now at the same time, let's suppose if you say, okay, I don't want to name here, I want to name in the second place. What will happen? It will just take course over here. So what will happen? Hello AI, welcome to the course of Sam. Okay, bit funny, but so you understood, right? It's just a placeholder. Means now see, if you add one more thing here, let's suppose now if I add, say if I add, let's say last name over here, last name. Okay, let's say we will write John. Okay, now see here, hello, let's say Sam, and we'll write one more thing. And suppose because now I want to write a full name, right? So hello, first name and last name. So what I'll do, here I'll write a name first. Okay, in the second place, what I want a last name, right? And at the end, what I want, course. That's it, guys. Three variables, three placeholders. Placeholders means what? They are holding the place for some of the variable that you are defining over here. Whatever variable you will define, uske liye that is the placeholder. Okay. So now let's suppose if I now run this, see here, guys. Hello, Sam John. Welcome to the course of AI. Okay. So make sense? Yes. So guys, everyone is clear with how exactly this works? So now this particular thing is called as string formatting. String formatting. अब string formatting can be done in one more different way. एक और तरीके से हम लोग इसको कर सकते हैं, जिसको बोलते हैं with positional और index. मतलब पोजीशन और इंडेक्स के हिसाब से हम लोग इसको कर सकते हैं. अब जैसे मान लो कि मैं क्या करूंगा, आई जस्ट टेक द सेम थिंग. ओके, आई टेक द सेम थिंग. ओके, मैं यहाँ पे प्रिंट करूंगा. अब यहाँ पे सी गाइस, नाउ इंस्टेड ऑफ लेट सपोज जैसे मान लो कि आपको, लेट सपोज नो आपको मालूम नहीं कि यहाँ पे आपको क्या लिखना है एक बहुत आसान भाषा में. ओके, तो व्हाट यू कैन डू इज, लेट सपोज लेट्स से आई विल राइट अ न्यू मैसेज ओनली. लेट सपोज मैसेज इक्वल टू, लेट्स से वेलकम. Okay, and here you can add an index over it. Let's suppose one number. Okay, your mentor is, let's say, 0. That's it, guys. That's it. Okay. And now what we'll do, nothing we did. We just entered the, let's say what? The ID is over here, 1 and 0. Now, if I run it here, welcome, John, your name is Sam. Welcome, John, your name is Sam. Means what? Specifically, you can mention, okay, let's suppose now you want 0 over here, and let's suppose you want 1 over here. So, hello, Sam, your mentor is John. Right? So, means see, you write it like this or write it like this. Really doesn't matter. Right? Both of them are giving the same results only. So that is really not gonna matter. And let's suppose now by chance, let's say you have not even defined the variables. आपने क्या किया है? इन variables को कहीं पे लिखा ही नहीं है. You have not defined them. So here what you can do, you can directly write the name. Let's say, so say XYZ. Okay, like this. Now you will see, welcome. So your mentor is XYZ. Okay, so guys, see, very, very simple things. If you have your, and let's say what we can say is, if you have your variables which are already given, so you can directly pass the variable names over here, right? But if not, you have the full, let's say, you have the full right. I would say it is a fully flexible. You have the, full permission, like, it is allowed in Python. You can directly write the names like this also. But it is always suggested that, you create the variables. ओके क्योंकि क्या होता है कि वेरिएबल्स के अंदर आप कुछ ना कुछ स्टोर करते हो एंड वो स्टोरिंग काफी अच्छा लगता है ओके सो गाइस एवरीवन क्लियर ओके चलो आई होप ऑल इज गुड वेरी सिंपल एंड स्ट्रेट फॉरवर्ड थिंग्स नाउ सिमिलरली सो दिस प्लेस होल्डर जो हमने बोला ना तो दिस इज लाइक वेरी वेरी यूजफुल समटाइम्स नाउ देखो अगर जैसे मान लो अगर मैं सिर्फ यहाँ पे एम्प्टी अगर लिख रहा हूँ if I'm just simply adding the empty spaces over here, let's say placeholders. So now it is compulsory that the format should be these three only. Means at the first one automatically name will be filled, at the second one automatically last name will be filled, and at the third one automatically this last placeholder will be filled. So now if I run it, so you'll get like this. But at the same time, if I just let's say write let's say 3 here or let's say 2 here, it's an index, right? Understand guys? It's index. Zeroth index, first index, second index. Let's say I write second index here, zeroth index here, and let's say first index here. What will happen? Hello Sam AI, welcome to the course of John. Right? So we can see zeroth number pe what is there? Sam. Then at the second number, what is there now? Second number, it's like John, right? So hello Sam, sorry, course. Last is course, right? Second number is course. So course is what? AI. So hello Sam, AI, welcome to the course of John. And at the end, we are adding first number ka. Means first index ka. What is first index? Zeroth index is Sam. First index आपका क्या आ गया? See here. Understand the index from here. Okay, not how you have written it over here. You can write here in any different format. Doesn't matter. मतलब you can write name here or course name here. तो यहाँ पे ordering can be anything. But whatever order that you have passed in the format, तो इसी order के अंदर ये सारी नाम्स these names will come. Okay, so I hope this is very very clear to everyone. So guys, just a simple say, okay, a simple heads up till now. So everyone understood till here, like how exactly these two methods of are actually used. Yeah, if you have any doubt, just let me know at the same point, right? And not to worry. Okay, now again, bit straightforward, bit simple. It's just like now see guys, really doesn't matter which format you use, as long as you understand how to write the string formatting. That is what it matters. You write it in this particular way, you write it in this particular way, but I don't recommend this and no one would recommend this, right? You can just imagine, let's suppose if I want to write now this sentence, what I need to do, hello plus again space. So hello plus space again, then plus name, then again space, then again space, again welcome plus space, welcome to. Means it will just become a, let's say, very very lengthy plus. So for longer sentences it is not recommended. As long as you are doing a very simple concatenation of two strings, दो strings आपके पास है, उनका concatenation आप कर रहे हो, छोटे छोटे हैं, so at that particular time it is very very feasible. Okay, great. There is now third way to do the same thing, string formatting, and this is guys one of the most widely used in Python and maximum times आप यही इसको यूज करोगे, जिसको हम लोग बोलते हैं f strings. We call them as f strings. F strings. Okay, so I hope now let's talk about what exactly f strings are. So basically, guys, usually after this Python 3.5 or 6, right? This started getting more famous. People started using it. Okay. So the main idea was the formatting is working exactly same, right? But the only thing that we added was the F string inside this. Now, how exactly we use it? You don't need to write this extra format and all the stuff. Very, very simple. See here. Let's suppose now if I write, let's say name equal, let's say John. Let's say Sam. Okay. Now let's suppose you have level, say beginner. Okay. Say yeah, beginner. Let's suppose now I want to write the same. See, okay, now see guys. First of all, if I ask you to write the same thing in the string formatting, let's say str dot format. So how will you write it? Anyone in the chat sections? How will you write it? We check the chat box. Guys, anyone? Come on here. Okay, right? So now see here, guys. Now, when we are talking about this particular part, right? Okay, first of all, guys, screen is visible to everyone, right? Yes. Okay. Now everything is okay. Yeah. Okay, fine. So now I see. Till now, we have discussed in a very, very real-time approach कि what are the different types of formats that we use and उनको आपको practical life में कैसे लाना है. Means as a AI engineer, how exactly you gonna think? Means what हमने बात की prompts की कि मतलब let's say prompt की बात करो वो भी string है. You talk about any kind of AI model वो भी string है. अगर आप कोई let's say tweet लिख रहे हो वो भी string है. Chat कर रहे हो वो भी string है. Every single thing is string. राइट नाउ आफ्टर डिस्कसिंग दीज टू फॉर्मेट्स राइट अभी देखो थर्ड चीज मैंने आपको क्या बोला लाइक दिस रिसेंटली स्टार्टेड आफ्टर 3.6 पाइथन ये थोड़ा फेमस हुआ ठीक है मतलब इसको थोड़ा ज्यादा स्कोप दिया लोगों ने एंड द मेन रीजन वाज इट वाज वेरी वेरी इजी टू यूज सो हाउ एग्जैक्टली वी डू इट लेट्स सपोज नाउ इफ आई राइट एफ राइट हाउ विल आई राइट I what I told you f string you write f then simply pass this inverted commas like this and write let's suppose now you can write a whatever let's say sentence you want to write let's suppose hi and you will directly pass a placeholder over. Let's say what is the placeholder? Let's say name. Hi name. Your current level is say level. And guys, that's it. That's it. Okay. If we just run it, see here, guys. Hi Sam, your current level is beginner. So now you can just think, right? Out of all the things that we discussed, this was the easiest one. सबसे आसान ये था. क्यों? बिकॉज अननेसरली आपको डॉट फॉर्मेट ऐड करने की जरूरत नहीं है ना ही यू नीड टू ऐड द अननेसरी प्लेस होल्डर्स यहाँ पे 1 नंबर डालो 2 नंबर डालो 3 नंबर डालो उसकी भी जरूरत नहीं है ठीक है तो मतलब क्या द एफ स्ट्रिंग्स आर वन ऑफ द मोस्ट वाइडली यूज्ड डेटा टाइप्स दैट वी learn about and that we talk about okay first of all guys can anyone just confirm if the screen is visible properly Hemant नहीं है visible okay it's visible
Yes,
right
sir, you can see.
great great okay now, so let's say, guys, I hope this has made it more clear and this has made it more simpler, right? बहुत simple भाषा में what we said. This is how exactly you write the if strings. Now, let's suppose I'll add one more thing. Let's suppose now let's take these three things only, right? Let's say these three things. And now let's say anyone, guys, anyone interested to tell me how can you write a if string for the same one? Anyone? Any inputs? You can just form a simple sentence, right? तो form sentence कैसे form करेंगे? Let's say f string और आप यहाँ पे सीधा print भी कर सकते हो. F in bracket. How will you write? Let's say hello. यहाँ पे now see we want to add the first name here now. Let's say I want to add a placeholder here. So hello name, right? You have hello name and let's say we also give the last name, right? Hello name and let's say last name. right? You have no let's say applied for the, say, for, let's say, course क्या AI course, no, AI course. That's it, guys. A very simple English. We just added three different names and that's it. Say hello Sam and John. You have applied for the AI course. Okay. So guys, I hope it just makes sense, right? I mean, see, F strings are one of the very very simple ways to deal with anything. मतलब बहुत easily you can just add the stuff. Very easily you can manipulate it, right? मतलब जिस हिसाब से the way you want to format it, the way you want to break it down, the way you want to write it, very easily you can just write it. Okay, so that is also one of the ways you write the F strings. Now see guys, now like this there are multiple ways. Okay, अगर आप if you just go and read about a blog, then you will see about percent %s. Okay, then you will see about the simple commas also. Okay, so means what, there are multiple ways you can actually write this particular thing, right? But I would just suggest F string के बाहर you don't need to go. Okay, as far as F string is there, everything is perfectly good, good to go. What my point? Now one more thing. See here. Hello, my name is, like this we added, right? So, and I do a course. So here also you can, what you can do is, let's say you can simply add name, comma. Okay. Now see here, guys. Now, as we written in this particular case, right? Let's say now we have this just learned about a simple formatting, right? So even without writing the dot string format, let's say dot format in bracket first name and last name, even just with the simple commas, right? Even with the simple commas also you can add this particular thing. How exactly do it? See here. Now let's suppose I have this name. Okay, let's say what I'll do, print in bracket. Let's suppose I'll write, let's say hello, my name is, then come outside, give the comma. What you need to add? Name, say name, again comma, and sorry, again inside this. So see, whatever is not the variable, जो भी variable नहीं है वो सारा string के अंदर आएगा. Everything will be in the double inverted commas or single inverted commas, anything, but double is preferred. Okay, and I applied for the, again, which course? Course. Course. Okay, मतलब क्या, we can also write this particular thing in one single way, in this particular way also. देखो यहाँ पे हमने तो ना एफ स्ट्रिंग ऐड की, ना हमने यहाँ पे कोई डबल फॉर्मेट्स ऐड किए. दिस इज ऑल्सो वन ऑफ द वेज टू राइट द स्ट्रिंग फॉर्मेट ओनली, बट इट जस्ट इन अ मोर सिंपलर वे, right? Just in a more simpler way, instead of, let's say, writing even f, see, f strings are always suggested. जब भी आपको चांस मिले, you have, whenever you have to do, always write the f strings only. But ये और ज्यादा आसान होता है कि जैसे मान लो जो कोई hello my name is, देखो अभी if you don't give a comma, no, see, it will throw an error. कि मतलब क्या कि भाई कहीं ना कहीं आप दी परहैप्स यू आर मिसिंग अ कॉमा. सो मतलब क्या कि वेरेवर यू वांट टू ऐड दिस पर्टिकुलर वेरिएबल नेम, यू हैव टू एक्सप्लिसिटली पास द कॉमा ओवर हियर. ओके, उसके बाद फिर से होने के बाद कॉमा, उसके बाद आगे जो भी आपको आगे लिखना है, फिर से आपको जो वेरिएबल ऐड करना है, एंड फिर से नो यू आर एंडिंग द स्ट्रिंग ओवर हियर. ओके, सो दिस इज हाउ एग्जैक्टली यू ऐड अ स्ट्रिंग फॉर्मेटिंग इनटू दिस पर्टिकुलर केस. ओके, सो व्हाट आई सजेस्ट, व्हाट आई टोल्ड एवरीवन, एफ स्ट्रिंग्स आर द मैक्सिमम यूज्ड. आपको ज्यादा से ज्यादा जो काम करना है, दैट हैज टू बी इनटू द एफ स्ट्रिंग्स ओनली. Okay, the maximum work that you will do around the f strings only. Okay, so guys, everyone is clear with the string formatting now? Like any issues to anyone tell? Okay. So guys, everyone clear? Great. Now see guys. Now there is small question for you. You can just solve it afterwards. The main question I'll be taking is at the end of the time. Okay. So this is for, let's say, now see here. So let's suppose now, let's say create a, let's say create a welcome message using your name, your AI interest, and your enroll course. Okay, using all the three formats we have seen, right? So, जितने भी whatever three formats we have seen, I expect you can just go into this and write every single thing about it. Okay, so I hope till here everything is perfectly clear. And now let's move on to understand what are the different methods that this particular string carries. Okay, now before starting any kind of method, before starting understanding about any single method, what I told you guys in the last session, strings are immutable in nature. अब now see, immutable means what? एक बार स्ट्रिंग बन गई तो उसको आप बदल नहीं सकते. यू कैनॉट चेंज दैट स्ट्रिंग. ओके, मतलब हाँ, आप उसके अंदर कुछ एडिट करके नई स्ट्रिंग बना सकते हो. यू कैन क्रिएट अ न्यू स्ट्रिंग आउट ऑफ द सेम स्ट्रिंग, बट यू कैनॉट एडिट दिस. ये अगर ओरिजिनल आप ये एक बार बन गई, लेट्स सपोज इफ आई हैव रिटन लेट्स से नेम इक्वल टू सैम, तो नाउ इट विल नॉट चेंज. Okay, it will not change. Means what? Strings are immutable in nature. Very simple things and very important things to understand and have it in your mind. Okay, now understand here. What we are doing is, first of all, let's start and understand all these particular functions one by one. What are the different functions we have, right? Then what are the different how exactly we try to solve them. Okay, so now see here, guys. Before going into any kind of use case, or let's say before understanding what are the different functions it gives and all the things, now look at here. So already everything is already in place, so I hope you can see this, right? Now see here. So first of all, we have already learned to create a simple strings, right? How to create a simple string. Let's say this is my first string, second string, right? Now when you type get the type of this particular string, तो type क्या आ गया? String type आ गया. ओके, यहाँ पे अगर लिखूंगा तो यू हैव सीन दिस. सेकंड थिंग क्या है कि आप इस तरीके से नहीं लिख सकते हो. आई थिंक इन द लास्ट सेशन आई हैव टोल्ड दिस इन वेरी डिटेल्स, राइट? इसकी क्यों, व्हाई कांट वी राइट दिस? ओके, नाउ सेकंड थिंग, whenever you are trying to use, try to use the double quotes. और अगर सेंटेंस अगर बहुत बड़ा है तो हमें क्या यूज करना है? ट्रिपल कोट्स, राइट? द वे वी हैव सीन इट इन द लास्ट सेशन. ओके, तो या तो डबल कोट्स या तो ट्रिपल कोट्स, डिपेंडिंग ऑन हाउ बिग द सेंटेंस यू आर राइटिंग. ओके, नाउ सी गाइस, प्रिंट स्टेटमेंट के बारे में हमने पढ़ा. हाउ टू राइट द स्टेटमेंट इनटू द न्यू लाइन, ये भी हमने पढ़ा. अब नाउ अंडरस्टैंड हियर. सी, व्हेन यू टॉक अबाउट द न्यू लाइंस, राइट, तो न्यू लाइंस मतलब क्या? जैसे मान लो प्रिंट यूज स्लैश एन टू प्रिंट द न्यू लाइन. तो जैसे आप इसको रन कर रहे हो, आप ये देख सकते हो यूज, as soon as you have written a slash n over here, you will see that all these three things are coming into the new line now. All this, let's say whatever thing is written after this is coming into the new line. Okay, similarly, see what slash n I mean, see what I mean. Wherever you're writing this slash, you will write this particular thing. So understand, whenever you want to make sure ki, whenever you want to make sure ki you are adding, or let's say you want to add something into the new line, so always try to add this slash n over there, which will eventually make it more better. It will eventually make it more better and more elegant. Okay, now let's try to understand what are the different functionalities that it has. First of all, the first functionality is length function. So what exactly this length function will do? The length function will try to check the length of a particular string. Okay, just मान लो regression. So what I told you guys, even the space is counted as a one single element that will be added into this particular length. अब जैसे मान लो, suppose if I remove this, see here 11 will come. Okay, if I, let's say, again do this, you will see 12 will come. If I now again increase this by one more, okay, you will see now 13 will come. If you increase there one more by one more, you will see 14 will come. Means even a space is considered to be an value, right? Now, what are the some of the inbuilt Python functions, or let's say we can string functions that actually are given in Python? Okay, now see, we know that strings are sequence, means Python can use indexes to call parts of this particular sequence. Now we have one thing that we saw was what? It all starts from the element, means what? Let's say it is called indexing in Python. इंडेक्सिंग मतलब क्या? वो स्टार्ट जीरो से होगा, जीरो नंबर पे पी आएगा, वन नंबर पे आर आएगा, तीन नंबर पे आई आएगा, फोर्थ नंबर पे एन विल कम, फिफ्थ पे सी विल कम, सो सेवंथ एट नाइन टेंथ पे कुछ स्पेस विल कम, right? So whenever I'm writing the string and whenever if I print it, you will see like this is coming. And now if I start playing around it, let's say if I write 0, CRP will come. If I write, let's say 1, CRR will come. If I, let's say, write 10 over here, CRC will come. And let's suppose now if I write, let's say 100 guys, what will happen? It will say okay, out of string. मतलब उसका रेंज ही उतना नहीं है. अगर सेंटेंस अगर मान लो इसमें टोटल 10 ही वर्ड्स है, तो अगर आप मान लो इफ यू ट्राई टू आस्क एक्सेस द समथिंग दैट इज आउट ऑफ द लेंथ, तो डेफिनेटली इट विल थ्रो एन एरर, राइट? तो ये आपका हो गया 12 एम है. ओके, सो गाइस टिल इंडेक्सिंग हमने कल लास्ट सेशन में हमको बताया था. Okay, now see guys. Now once the indexing is done, right? Now second important thing that we do into this particular whole Python at many different almost in every single data type that you will learn about something called as string slicing. आप string slicing के बारे में पढ़ोगे. Now what exactly the string slicing is? See, we can use this dot to perform string slicing to grab all the elements that we require. Now understand this. Now let's take an example. Suppose you have given a string. Okay, 1 2 3 4 5 6, let's मान लो 6 words यहाँ पे है. तो now what I want to do, let's suppose now मेरा एक requirement है. I don't want to take, let's say, all the 6. I don't want that. I only want something from 2 to 4. So then what I'll do, I'll pass the string name str. Okay, and inside this particular let's say square brackets like this, I will pass the range of this particular thing. So the range is called as end, start, end and step. स्टार्ट एंड एंड के बारे में नाउ विल टॉक अबाउट, एंड एंड स्टेप के बारे में विल टॉक अबाउट लेटर. तो स्टार्ट एंड एंड मतलब क्या? कि आपका जो इंडेक्स है, आपको कौन से इंडेक्स से स्टार्ट करना है और वो खत्म कौन से इंडेक्स पे होना चाहिए. दैट इज कॉल्ड एज स्टार्ट एंड एंड. नाउ इफ आई शो यू आर सी व्हाट आई टोल्ड, लेट्स सपोज नाउ मेरे पास एक स्ट्रिंग है, से न्यू स्ट्रिंग इक्वल लेट्स सपोज डेटा साइंस. ओके, नाउ लेट्स सपोज इफ आई रन इट, सॉरी, so now we are seeing new string. Now see, now if I do from here, okay, I am saying, okay, start from the zeroth index. Understand? Index, okay, start from the zeroth index, go till third index. Go till third index. You can see, zeroth index is D, first index is A, last index is T. But now understand, guys, you might say, let's suppose now if I take this one, okay, I'll just show you in details. Now understand, let's suppose you have taken this particular thing, data science, right? Now let's say zero index पे तो D आएगा, one index पे A आएगा, T will be at second index, A will be at third index, right? So D at T है, सारी चीजें प्रिंट होनी चाहिए थी, right? Every single thing could have printed over here, right? Every single thing we could have seen here, but what is being printed? D, A and T only. Means what? Zero, zero index पे is D, A is on the first index and T is on the second index. We did not add the third index only. So guys, this is what exactly happens in Python. You don't add the last index of that particular end step. जहां पे खत्म हो रहा है उसके एक पहले ही हम लोग रोकते हैं. मतलब 3 पे अगर हम लोग बोल रहे हैं कि 0 से लेके 3 तक चाहिए, तो विल ओनली गो फ्रॉम 0 1 2, दैट्स इट. We won't go to the third. We won't include that particular third. Means what? In simple terms, last index of the indexing into the slicing is not included. Is not included. Let's suppose now if I write, let's say 5 over here. Okay, now we see here. D is at the zeroth index, A is at the first index, T is at the second index, A is at the fourth index, and at the last index, what we have? A space we have. Right? We'll see it is only till the last index that we have got. Okay, now let me just show you again. Z. Okay, only till here we have got. Right, so 0 1 2 3 4 4 0 1 2 3 and 4 till here. You can see till space, right? You see space is also there. Okay, if I add 6 over here, now we'll see that s will also be added, space and s will be added. See, space and s, space and s. So how exactly 6 came, guys? Start from 0. See, starting wala index included hota hai. Starting index is included into this particular format. We'll start from, let's say, 0D. A is first, T is second, A is third, space is fourth, and S is fifth. Lekin we want to go till sixth now, but we know that last index is not included, so therefore it will only come till data, and this first S will come here. First S will come here. Okay, so guys, this simple thing is clear to everyone. Everyone clear? Now understand it. See, I can write something like this. Let's suppose now I have new string, and let's say I don't want it from, let's say, 0. I want to start from 2. Okay, and now I don't want to mention anything at the end step. मतलब क्या होता है? See what I told you. Start. Okay, let me just write it here. Start, end, and step. तो step के बारे में will understand, but understand start and end. तो कहीं ना कहीं आपको start भी specify करना है और end भी specify करना है, right? So now if you look at here, let's say, oh yeah, okay, see here. Now what I told you, if I start from 2 and I don't mention anything over here, it is blank. So indirectly means what? Okay, if you are starting from the 2, then go till the very very end. Go till the very very end. ओके, मीन्स आपको एंड की लिमिट नहीं है, जहां तक ये खत्म नहीं हो रहा वहां तक जाओ। जैसे मान लो अगर मैं इसको रन करूंगा तो सी हियर सेकंड इंडेक्स कौन सा है गाइस? व्हाट आई टोल्ड यू, इनिशियल फर्स्ट स्टेप इज एडेड। फर्स्ट स्टेप का जो इंडेक्स है वो एडेड होता है, तो सेकंड नंबर पे इंडेक्स पे कौन सा है? जीरो इंडेक्स इज डी, फर्स्ट इंडेक्स इज ए, एंड थर्ड इंडेक्स इज टी। यू कैन सी टी एंड ए इज फ्रॉम हियर, एंड ऑल द साइंस इज ओवर हियर, right? So that is how exactly we try to add all these particular things in a very very sequential format. बहुत आसान तरीके से we try to represent the string slicing in Python. String slicing in Python. So guys, is it making sense to everyone? Like till here, everyone sense कर रहा है? Are you all able to grasp it? Somehow you are able to understand? What about others? We have 7 people, right? Great. Yeah, I hope Vaishali ma'am and Kalpana ma'am, you are also understanding, right? So if anything is problem, you can just ping me at the same, let me know at the same time. Great. Now see. Now once this is done, guys, so it means what? A very, very simple thing we are doing, right? Nothing very fancy. Now see, understand. What if I do now? Let's say what if I do something, let's say new string, and if I simply add like this, nothing else, simply like this, what will happen? Every single thing will be included. Means in short, what I'm saying, neither I have specified the limit for start index, neither I have given the limit for end index. तो जब कुछ भी नहीं लिखा होता है, means what? Start from the first and go till the last. Okay, that is how exactly it is written. Now another thing, let's suppose now you added something like this. Let's say you had new string, and let's suppose you added something like say like this, and let's say you added fifth one over here. Means in short, what I'm saying, guys, I am expecting, I have not mentioned anything in the start date now. I have not written anything into the start time. Means starting index is 0. So when nothing is written means what? Start from 0. When nothing is written means what? Start from 0. When nothing is written means go till the end. Okay. Agar start step, see what is the first step? Start step. In the start step, if you don't write any number means what? Start from 0. And in the end step, if you don't write anything means go till the end. As we have seen in this particular case, we mentioned the start step, we have mentioned it, but we forgot and we did not mention the end step. Okay, so it is called as a start step, like this. Okay, say start, uh, end, and step. Don't worry about step, right? Abhi you'll understand. Very simple. Okay, not to worry. Okay, now let's suppose if I ask till 5 over here. So okay, now can anyone tell me what will happen over here? Means what? Now we are saying, okay, you start from 0, that is fine, but maximum you can go is till the fifth only. That's it, guys. Maximum you can go is till fifth only. So how can I write this now? See here. Okay, so guys, everyone, fifth wala add hoga ki nahi isme? Will fifth one will be added over here? What will happen? Will this fifth will be added over here? No, no, right? Yes or no, guys? Yes, exactly. Why exactly it won't be added? Because see, वेरी सिंपल राइट, बिकॉज हमने क्या बोला, लास्ट इंडेक्स इज नेवर एडेड, लास्ट इंडेक्स इज कंसिडर्ड, उसके पहले जो है वहां तक हम लोग लेंगे। तो फिर इसका आंसर क्या आएगा, सिंपली DATA, दैट्स इट, 0 1 2 3 and 4, दैट्स इट। ओके, एंड स्पेस, आई थिंक स्पेस। So guys, this is how exactly we deal with start and, it's a start and end into the string format. Now when I talk about the step, अभी मैं स्टेप की बात करता हूँ, तो मतलब क्या, जैसे मान लो यार हम लोग सीढ़ियाँ चढ़ते हैं, राइट, एवरीवन गोज अप टू द स्टेप्स। तो सम पीपल व्हाट दे डू इज they'll go from one step, one step, one step, one step. Some of them what they'll do, they're smart, so they'll pick two, 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 two like this. And if it's kids, then let's say school students, so then they're dangerous. Like they'll from first they'll directly try to go till the fourth. I mean, that's we have seen this, right? So in simple terms, what that is what the step size means. Means in simple terms, what I'm saying. Let's suppose I have written. Let's say I'll write here. Let's say I have written. Let's say data science. Okay. So now what I'm saying is I want to add a step size. Means what I'm saying, okay, from D, you can directly go to T. From T, directly go to space. From space, directly go to I. From I, directly go to N. From E, like this. Okay. Now, this is called as a step size of 2. Now, at the same time, if I ask a step size of 3, then what will happen? D is the first one. Now, understand. One more thing here. What I told you, start, end, step, right? So, if the start is, let's say, okay, now, if the start is starting from 0, okay, then we will start from D. Means D will be our first one, doesn't matter how long step you take. So D will be the first that will be taken. If you start from 0, let's say you write something, let's say 0, okay, end it at, let's say 4. Wait, okay, let's say you start from 0, okay, then you end it at, let's say 4, but take a step size of 2. Means what happen, what will happen, first D will be taken, D will be taken. Then we are going till fourth only, means how many will come? 0, 1, 2, and 3. So how many indexes will come? 0, 1, 2, and 3. These indexes will come. And what are the things we'll write? Now see, first of all, we'll write it down. What are the indexes of 0, 1, 2, 3? 0 index is D. Then first index is A. Then second index is T. And the third index is A. Right? So these are the only three I want, because fourth one is not included over here. Space will not be included. So now these are the only things that I want. Second thing is what, now I want to go from 0 to 4. But the now the catch is step size is 1. By default step size आपका 1 होता है। यहाँ पे अगर आप कुछ भी मेंशन नहीं करोगे तो बाय डिफॉल्ट वो 1 लेगा। ओके, लेकिन आपने बोला कि भाई देखो यार, मेरा तो यूज केस ऐसा है कि आई नीड टू टेक द स्टेप साइज ऑफ 2 ओनली, देन ओनली इट विल वर्क आउट। So now what I'll do is I'll take the step size of 2. So first of all, O will come. Let's say D will come. D. Then it will jump, miss the first one, it will go to T. D and T. D and T. Now miss one more and go over here. So nothing is there. So that's it, guys. The answer will be D and T. Okay. So now let's suppose if I show it to you here. So how can we write this? Let's say here. So data science is there. Let's suppose now new string is there. Now see here, new string, right? And inside the bracket, let's suppose if I write now, go from 0, go till 4th, but I want the step size of 2. See here, guys, D and T will come. Okay. Now at the same time, one more thing is here. When you will write something like this, let's suppose now, okay, that's fine. Because you started from 0, therefore it's fine. But what if now I will, my use case is something like this, let's say 1, okay, then you go to, let's say 4, right, and take the step size of 2. Now what will happen? Now the first one will be taken as this particular, means A से हम लोग start करेंगे. Now we'll not start from the D, because our first is which one now? A, because our first index क्या है? First index is A. Means the only thing that will be included into this particular case will be first, second, and third index. जो हमारी है, what is first index now? So D is 0th index, first is A, second is T, and third is A. So A, T, and A. These are the only three words that will come into my channel right now. And now if I take the step size of 2, what will come now? At the first, it will be A, then miss one more and there will be A. So it will be A and A, A and A like this. Okay, guys. So now let's suppose if I'm showing it that to you over here, let's say I'll add an, yeah, let's suppose if I copy this now, okay, and if I paste it, Let's suppose now if I start from first, go till fourth and see guys. Okay, guys. So, guys, this is how exactly the string formatting in Python works. तो मतलब क्या है, this is like one of the very very good use cases, right? Means many times it happens. Means suppose maximum number of times whenever you are dealing with a huge amount of chunk of data, बहुत बड़े डेटा के साथ आप काम कर रहे हो, so in such kind of scenario you always have to think कि what is the most important data that I actually require. Okay, so in such kind of scenarios, yes, the string formatting can be one of the most important things that you can use. Okay, so first of all, let me see all are clear. Wonderful. Now see here, guys. So I hope till here everyone is clear. So guys, first of all clear to everyone till here. Let's take one more thing now. Let's suppose now I have a bigger sentence. Let's say I have principal component analysis. Let's say I'll write this whole thing now. I'll copy this and I'll paste it here. So paste it over here. Okay. Now see here, guys. Now inside this, you can see that let's suppose what I written here now. Let's say print something like this. Print something like this. Print string dot. Let's say this full stop commas, full stop, and then we have 13 written over here. So means what is saying over here, guys? See, when the step size is not given or step size is not given over here, so by default your step size is always one. Just now I told you, show it, see it here now. See, if I now go here, say, so how do you search it? Let's say string formatting in Python. Okay, documentation. Okay, see here, guys, string format. See here now what's happening? By default values kya hai? You will see over here. Oh, not string formatting, right? By mistake, I have done this. Okay. Now see here. String slicing in strings. Okay. So in slicing here also you'll see that you will see steps, how exactly the step size are actually taken. 0, 1, and 2, like this. You can read about this blog also. Okay. Now see here. Yeah, the same example that we took, that's the same thing that we have taken. Let's see. So by default, step size will always be 1 only. So that is what exactly I wanted to tell you. Nothing too much. If you don't specify the step size by default, then by default step size is always 1. Always 1. So now see here. Now if I read 13 means what? I want to start from the 0. I want to start from the 0 and I want to go till 12th only because the last element will not be included into this. तो फिर क्या आएगा? PRINC पे everything till the COM. Okay guys, this is how exactly the simple string formatting works. Now you might ask, does it work the same in the negative also? Exactly. ठीक है, नेगेटिव इंडेक्स में भी एग्जैक्टली सेम तरीके से काम करता है. लेट्स सपोज नाउ फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल आई विल रन दिस. लेट्स से 10 से लेके पूरा, तो मतलब मैं क्या बोल रहा हूँ कि स्टार्ट फ्रॉम द 10th इंडेक्स. ओके, एंड टिल द एंड नाउ यू कैन गो. ओके, नाउ सी, I have explained it like if you don't specify the ending index, then all the index are extracted which comes after the starting index, including the element at the starting index. राइट, क्योंकि स्टार्टिंग इंडेक्स में जो एलिमेंट है उसको हम लोग हमेशा ऐड करते हैं. जो आपका एंडिंग वाला इंडेक्स है हम लोग उसको कभी भी ऐड नहीं करते, दैट इज इग्नोर्ड. ओके, दैट लास्ट इंडेक्स इज इंक्लूड, उसके पहले वाला हम लोग लेते हैं. ओके, सिमिलरली यू कैन सी हियर एंड रिलैक्स एवरीथिंग, राइट, everything will come over here. Now guys understand here, see how negative indexing will work. Negative indexing works exactly the same way that we do in positive way. तो मतलब क्या, जैसे मान लो कि नेगेटिव इंडेक्सिंग ऐसा है, -1 क्या है सबसे लास्ट वाला वर्ड, -2 सेकेंड लास्ट वर्ड, -3 लास्ट थर्ड वर्ड, -4 उसके पहले वाला, -5 उसके पहले वाला. मतलब s will be -1, I will be -2, again s will be -3, y will be -4, l will be -5. इस तरीके से क्या आ गया ये. नाउ दिस इज हाउ एग्जैक्टली द ऑल दिस पर्टिकुलर थिंग्स आर रिटन इन नेगेटिव इंडेक्सिंग. यहाँ पे देखो, यहाँ पे समझने की कुछ बात है. सी, अब मैं क्या करूंगा, जैसे मान लो मैंने ये लिखा, ठीक है, अब इसका लॉजिक समझो, राइट, अंडरस्टैंड द लॉजिक हियर. मैंने क्या बोला कि ये मेरे सेंटेंस मेरा ये है और मुझे प्रिंट करना है -1 से लेके -4 तक. तो गाइज फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल, इज इट पॉसिबल टू राइट इट? क्योंकि आप क्या बोल रहे हो कि भाई स्टार्ट तो -1 से करो, लेकिन -4 तक जाओ। मीन्स इन शॉर्ट, आपने एंड स्टेप -4 लिखा है। आपने क्या लिखा है? एंड स्टेप -4। मीन्स यू आर एक्सपेक्टिंग कि भाई -1 से स्टार्ट होके आप इसके आगे जाओ। क्या वो पॉसिबल है? क्योंकि -1 तो सबसे आखिरी में है। लाइक एस तो सबसे आखिरी में है, राइट? उसके आगे तो कुछ है ही नहीं। ओके, उसके आगे तो कुछ है ही नहीं, राइट? देयर इज नथिंग रिटन और उसके आगे। So therefore, what exactly we do is, if I just simply run it, you will see that you will get an empty string over here. Empty string over here. At the same time ना, अगर मैं लिखूंगा -4 से लेके सारा चीजें आगे की ले लो, मीन्स व्हाट? -4 क्या है? S is -1, I is -2, S is -3, and Y is -4. What I'm saying, after minus, let's say after Y, that is this one, take everything over here. Take everything over here. So now let's suppose if I add it now, let's say, sorry, let's say now if you see it, see here. Okay, guys. So it started from here, -4 कहाँ गया? See, this hashtag is, sorry, explanatory mark is -1, S is -2, -3, and S is -4. So you'll set SIS and explanatory mark. See, all the things are printed over here. Okay, so that is what exactly we have explicitly mentioned about the negative indexing. वो पीछे से स्टार्ट होता है, ठीक है? एंड गाइस, वन मोर थिंग, राइट? मतलब बहुत रेयरली यू विल बी डीलिंग विद द नेगेटिव इंडेक्सेस, लाइक very frequently you'll be dealing. But yes, you should know about it, right? Means, you always have to be prepared. So you can, never know what kind of things can be asked, or what kind of use case might be there, which can be helpful to you. So always have that habit. Always try to write this particular thing in this particular form. Okay, so guys, still here, everyone clear? Negative indexing for positive indexing, how to do slicing, everything is done. Everyone making sense? Yes, yes, please, ma'am. Please.
Sir, actually, my network issue was there. Then I will just have doubt in the third element you are providing, right?
Where?
The third one, like -1 is the one starting one, and the -4 is the end one, and after that again you have given one more element up ऊपर दिए थे आपने. So can you just explain me? I was not available at that time.
Okay,
Yes, sir. That
this
is the
one.
one. Yes, yes.
Okay, okay, see. Now, this is called as step size. Step size मतलब क्या? I'm going from one step to directly second step, second, third step, third to fifth, fifth to seventh. Means what? Let's suppose now, let's say now I have this thing, let's call as data science written here. ओके, एंड मैंने यहाँ पे लिखा, लेट्स से कि मुझे जाना है 1 से लेके 4 तक। ओके, और मुझे स्टेप लेने हैं 2-2 के। तो सबसे पहले व्हाट आई डू, आई फाइंड आउट कि 1 से लेके 4 तक व्हाट आर द डिफरेंट डिफरेंट वैल्यूज। तो व्हाट आर द डिफरेंट डिफरेंट वैल्यूज? सो जीरोथ इंडेक्स पे क्या है? लेट्स से डी इज देयर। ओके, सो डी इज नॉट इंक्लूडेड इन आवर कन्वर्सेशन। तो फर्स्ट पे क्या है? ए इज देयर। ओके, ए आ गया। सेकंड पे क्या आ गया? टी आ गया। थर्ड पे आ गया ए आ, राइट? एंड फोर्थ वाला तो हम लोग इंक्लूड नहीं करते, सो दैट
Hmm.
इज नॉट इंक्लूडेड। तो अभी क्या हो गया ना, बाई डिफॉल्ट साइज आपका क्या होता है? वो स्टेप साइज 1 होता है। तो ना इफ आई से 2 एज अ बाई डिफॉल्ट साइज, तो ना व्हेन वी आर ट्राइंग टू एक्सट्रैक्ट दिस वन, तो ये क्या करेगा? सबसे पहले इट विल कम ऑन टू दिस ए, ये फर्स्ट लेगा। उसके बाद ये अगले वाला स्किप करके सीधा यहाँ पे जंप करेगा ए के पास। तो मतलब ये स्टेप साइज हो गया। बीच वाला आप गैप लोगे, ये अगले वाले पे जाएगा, गैप लोगे आगे वाले पे जाएगा, गैप लोगे आगे वाले पे जाएगा। ओके, तो मीन्स लेट्स सपोज नाउ इफ यू लुक एट हियर, तो व्हेन आई प्रिंट दिस पर्टिकुलर पार्ट 1 से लेके 4 तक, तो क्या प्रिंट आएगा? 80 है एवरीथिंग। बट अब मैं जब स्टेप साइज ऐड कर रहा हूं, तो मैं क्या बोल रहा हूँ? देखो, अभी बाय डिफॉल्ट क्या है? बाय डिफॉल्ट स्टेप साइज इज 1। मींस व्हाट वी आर सेइंग, ओके, 1 से लेके 4 तक आप ले लो, लेकिन एक के बाद दो के गो टू सेकंड वन ओनली, देन ओनली गो टू थर्ड वन, एंड देन ओनली गो टू फोर्थ वन, लाइक दिस वी आर गोइंग। बट नाउ व्हेन यू ऐड अ स्टेप साइज ओवर हियर, लेट्स से आई एम एडिंग, लेट्स से स्टेप साइज, लेट्स से 2 ओवर हियर। तो नाउ व्हाट विल हैपन? फर्स्ट वाला कौन सा है? ए है। तो नाउ ए के बाद टी वाला स्किप होके सीधा फिर से ए ही प्रिंट होगा, ए। ओके, क्यों? बिकॉज सी, ये तो हमारा फोर्थ इज लास्ट वन, तो वी हैव सीन दैट लास्ट इंडेक्स इज नॉट इंक्लूडेड। तो व्हाट आर द इंडेक्सेस दैट विल बी इंक्लूडेड? ए, टी एंड ए। यही तीन चीजें थी। लेट्स सपोज डेटा साइंस आई हैव रिटन, लेट्स से डेटा साइंस, ठीक है, डेटा साइंस मैंने लिखा है। तो 0 नंबर पे क्या है, डी है। फर्स्ट नंबर पे क्या है, ए है। सेकंड नंबर पे टी है। थर्ड नंबर पे ए है। ठीक है, ये मेरे 3 नंबर हो गए। लेकिन नाउ सी, इफ आई राइट लेट्स से 0 ओवर हियर, तो फिर क्या होगा, अब ये स्टार्ट डी से होगा। बिकॉज व्हाट वी आर सेइंग, ओके माय फर्स्ट इंडेक्स हैज टू बी 0 ओनली, लेट्स से डी ओनली। नाउ इट विल स्टार्ट फ्रॉम डी। लेट्स सपोज नाउ इफ आई रन नाउ दिस, सी हियर डी एंड टी एम, ओके लेट्स सपोज इफ आई रिमूव दिस नाउ, see, so what are the things I'm coming? I'm getting all the data only. D, A, T, because 0 is D, A is 1, T is 2, and again A is 3. So 0 से लेके 4 तक, 0, 1, and 2, and 3. Means 4 things will be included over here. That is, data is included. Last one index, that is fourth number is there. So this will not be included, right? Because we have seen, right? Last one index is not included. तो अगर
Yes.
मैं क्या बोल रहा हूँ अभी, द स्टेप साइज इज 1। स्टेप साइज 1 मतलब क्या है, हम लोग डी के बाद ए के ऊपर ही जा रहे हैं, ए के बाद टी के ऊपर जा रहे हैं, टी के बाद ए के ऊपर आ रहे हैं। तो ना व्हाट इफ नाउ इफ आई वांट टू इंक्रीज द स्टेप साइज, अगर मैं बोलूंगा मुझे दो दो स्टेप के हिसाब से जाना है, तो हमेशा जो आपका फर्स्ट वाला होगा उसके वो दैट विल बी योर फर्स्ट वन। मतलब 0 अगर बोल रहे हो तो डी से स्टार्ट होगा, तो डी से ये सीधा जंप मारेगा टी के ऊपर, और टी से ये सीधा जंप मारेगा नेक्स्ट के ऊपर, राइट। तो अगर मैं ये करूंगा तो एल सी डी एंड टी, यही दो चीज आएगी। भाई देखो, डी के बाद हमारा एक स्किप हो गया, 0 और 2, 2 स्टेप साइज है, तो 2 पे क्या आएगा, टी आएगा। तो टी के बाद हमारा क्या है, ए एंड उसका स्पेस है। लेकिन वी हैव सीन स्टार्टिंग इज फ्रॉम 0 to 4 ओनली। तो जैसे ही इसने 4 एक्सटेंड किया, उसके बाद नथिंग विल कम, डी एंड टी विल ओनली कम। ओके, आई होप मेकिंग सेंस।
Yes, yes, got it, sir.
It's just like a step size. Now let's suppose now if I write 3 over here, so what will come? Only D will come. Sorry,
Yes.
3, let's say 3. Why? Okay, yeah, 3 and A will come. Yes. Why? See here, 0th number page is D. Then first missing A, second A, and ask me A is there, right? D, A, D, A. So it will miss the two of them and last one will come. So D and A will come. So like this, we are taking the step size. Step size is what? Instead of taking every single D, A, D, A, you are just asking it to take the steps of it.
Yes.
Okay?
That
So
means skipping the letters.
एग्जैक्टली, स्किपिंग इट मीन्स व्हाट, 2 लिखा तो एक बीच में स्किप होगा, 3 लिखा तो 2 स्किप होंगे। अगेन सी, नाउ इट्स लाइक दिस स्लाइसिंग इज used pretty extensively, but very rarely you will see that the index, let's say the step size is being used, because usually हम लोग क्या एक्सपेक्ट करते हैं कि let's say अगर आपके पास इतना बड़ा डेटा है, तो उस डेटा में से let's say certain amount of data you need, तो उतना आप ले रहे हो, that is fine, but at the same time you won't be very specific, right? Okay, take the first word only, then take the third, then take the fifth. What will you do of that? It's of the no use. Okay, so therefore what we do is we just make sure that we are going in a way where we are understanding about step size also, start also, and end also, right? So this is what exactly is about the slicing in Python, slicing and indexing. Now see guys, the way it works for let's say strings, exactly it same works same for the list also, exactly for the tuples also, every single where it will work the exactly same concept, exact same, and logic is exactly same. Okay, so I hope you have understood this particular part very very clearly. Okay, so I think all these things I have already seen. So now guys, here comes another important thing. So what I told you now, what are the different properties that particular strings actually possess? Okay, now देखो, these are very very important ones, because अभी आप string की पढ़ रहे हो, eventually you will learn about the properties of list, you will eventually learn about the properties of dictionary, sets, tuples, every single thing. Okay, every single one of them has some or other different thing here and there. Okay, some or other thing here and there. But now when I talk about mutability, so that mutability is in the few of them, but maximum of them do not have this mutability. In simple terms, now we are talking about strings. So strings are immutable in Python. So it is important to note that it has the property known as immutability. Means once the string is created, the elements within it, okay, this means once a string is created, the element within it cannot be changed, replaced via item assignment. मतलब मैं अगर आपको बोल रहा हूँ कि जैसे मान लो मैंने ये किया था, लेट्स से यहाँ पे आई से लगे a इक्वल टू 1, ओके, एंड अगर मैं इसको रन कर रहा हूँ, ठीक है, एंड लेट्स सपोज अगेन आई एम राइटिंग a इक्वल टू 2, ठीक है, ये भी रन हो गया, मीन्स नाउ यू आर असाइनिंग सेम थिंग और टू डिफरेंट थिंग्स, आपने इसको असाइन कर दिया, लाइक यू आर ट्राइंग टू असाइन अ सर्टेन थिंग, मतलब क्या, असाइन ऑपरेटर मीन्स यू कैन नॉट मैनिपुलेट अ स्ट्रिंग वंस क्रिएटेड। एक बार स्ट्रिंग बन गई, यू कैन नॉट मैनिपुलेट दैट। ओके, एक बार बन गई तो बन गई। ओके, सो दैट इज कॉल्ड एज इम्यूटेबिलिटी प्रॉपर्टी ऑफ अ स्ट्रिंग। नाउ अंडरस्टैंड व्हाट एग्जैक्टली इज मीनिंग ऑफ दिस। नाउ सी, नाउ लेट्स सपोज, नाउ क्या हुआ, लेट्स से आई वाज ट्राइंग टू राइट समथिंग, लेट्स से मैंने लिखा एक स्ट्रिंग हेलो, लेकिन फिर मुझे याद आया यार, देखो मुझे क्या करना है कि स्ट्रिंग का जीरो अपडेट क्या आएगा, ये तो एच आएगा, फर्स्ट नंबर पे इंडेक्स से एच आएगा। फिर मुझे याद आया यार, नहीं नहीं यार, बाई मिस्टेक मैंने यहाँ पे एच लिखा है, लेकिन यहाँ पे मुझे जो चाहिए था वो था सी। ओके, बाई मिस्टेक मैंने एच लिखा है, मुझे चाहिए तो सी था। तो फिर क्या हो गया, मैंने बोला कि चलो एक काम करता हूँ, ऐसा कुछ लिखता हूँ, इसको सी से चेंज कर दो, से इसको सी से चेंज कर दो। जैसे मैंने इसको रन किया, इसने बोला स्ट्रिंग ऑब्जेक्ट डज नॉट सपोर्ट द आइटम असाइनमेंट। मतलब क्या, जिस जो चीज आप करना चाहते हो वो यहाँ पे पॉसिबल नहीं है। इट डू नॉट हैव दैट प्रॉपर्टी कि आप इसको चेंज कर सको। ओके, सो वंस यू created a string, you cannot manipulate it. You cannot manipulate it. So everyone clear? That is like a first property of it, immutability. Strings are immutable in nature. Okay, so you can notice that how the error directly tells us that we can't do the item assignment to this one. Item assignment means what? You cannot assign the new value to it. Okay, now second thing, you cannot add or concat any kind of integers into it. Let's suppose I have string 1 and string 2. Let's suppose string 1 मैंने ऐड किया, string 2 किया, लेकिन I can add a space over here. Okay, जैसे हमने we did it right from the concatenation. Now that is fine, but I cannot add directly an integer over here. That is not allowed. Yeah, if I now write this integer as a string, so now it can add, okay, a b c and 4. But as we said, integers are not allowed. You cannot directly add an integer over here. Like this is not possible. Okay, so strings can concat only strings. ओके, मतलब आप जब कॉन्कैटिनेशन कर रहे हो, यू कैन ओनली कॉन्कैट द स्ट्रिंग्स, बाकी कोई भी डेटा टाइप आप उसके अंदर कॉन्कैट नहीं कर सकते। ओके, इन सिंपल टर्म्स। नाउ सियर, अब और मैंने ऐसा कुछ बोला कि यार देखो स्ट्रिंग है, स्ट्रिंग टू है, स्ट्रिंग ऑफ 4 करके मुझे भेज दो। मतलब क्या, जैसे मान लो यहाँ पे मैं क्या कर रहा हूँ, लेट्स से ए इक्वल टू मैंने 2 लिखा, ठीक है, मैंने इक्वल टू 2 लिखा। अगर मैं ए का अगर टाइप देखूंगा, लेट्स से टाइप ऑफ लेट्स से 2 ए, तो ये क्या है, इंटीजर है। लेकिन वही एट द सेम टाइम इफ आई डू लेट्स से बी इक्वल टू स्ट्रिंग ऑफ 4, स्ट्रिंग ऑफ 4, अगर मैं इसका टाइप चेक करूंगा, टाइप ऑफ लेट्स से बी, तो you'll see that it is a string now। मतलब मैं एक्सप्लिसिटली व्हाट आई एम मेंशनिंग कि भाई ये जो आपने 4 पास कर रहे हो ना, पास दैट 4 एज अ स्ट्रिंग, डोंट पास दैट एज अ वेरिएबल। मतलब यहाँ पे सिर्फ ये डोंट पास इट लाइक दिस, आई वांट टू कन्वर्ट दिस इनटू द स्ट्रिंग, सो नाउ इट विल वर्क परफेक्टली फाइन। ओके, सो स्ट्रिंग्स यू कैन contain in it. Okay, so same thing I told you right now, right, like this. So I hope guys, everyone understood how things are actually working. Okay, now see, you can let's say multiply or manipulate the string. Let's say if you do the into 3, you can see 3 times the same thing is written. 3 times the same thing is written. So guys, now let's begin and understand what are the different functions and methods that strings actually provides. कौन से अलग functions, कौन से अलग methods string आपको provide करता है। Okay, so first of all let's start with the length. So length function के बारे में we have already seen, right? Length क्या करता है कि let's suppose जो भी आप लिखोगे उसकी टोटल लेंथ निकाल के देगा। Okay, let's suppose now length के बारे में हम already told you, right? So 15 is the length of it. Now guys, second thing is called as lower. Now let me first of all explain guys ये lower क्या होता है। देखो, see, everyone might know about lower casing, upper casing। जैसे मान लो ना, लोअर केस होता है, अपर केस होता है, वी ट्राई टू राइट द इंग्लिश, राइट। हर कोई लिखता है कि और जैसे मान लो कि इफ यू टॉक अबाउट, सॉरी गाइस, okay, so let's suppose now if you talk about first word, let's say first character of any sentence, you will try to write that as a capital. If you're writing a name or entity or any kind of organization name or something like that, we try to add a first name as a capital letter, right? तो वो क्या हो गया, दैट इज अ कैप्स लॉक, मतलब अपर केस। एंड जो भी स्मॉल केस में लिखा है उसको क्या हम लोग क्या बोलते हैं, इट इज कॉल्ड एज अ लोअर केस। ओके, ना इसका यूज केस देखो कितना बड़ा है, राइट? मतलब ये चीज आप सबसे ज्यादा यूज करोगे। वाई, द थिंग इज सी, Python is called as, see here, Python is called as case sensitive language. पाइथन क्या है? केस सेंसिटिव लैंग्वेज। अब जब मैं बोल रहा हूँ केस सेंसिटिव, उसका मतलब क्या? ये दिस हेलो एंड दिस हेलो, दीज आर द टू डिफरेंट थिंग्स दैट पाइथन विल स्टोर। ये बोलेगा भाई ये इससे कंप्लीटली डिफरेंट है, मेरा और इसका कोई तालमेल नहीं है। ठीक है, मतलब जब हम लोग जैसे मान लो, लेट्स सपोज यू आर ट्राइंग टू क्रिएट लेट्स एन एआई चैटबॉट और समथिंग लाइक दैट। उसके लिए व्हाट यू नीड अ डेटा, एंड जो आप डेटा पास करते हो स्ट्रिंग फॉर्मेट में डेटा पास करते हो। ओके, यस, आफ्टर दैट दैट इज कन्वर्ट इनटू द नंबर्स, दैट इज अ डिफरेंट पार्ट, बट अंडरस्टैंड अभी हमें क्या समझना है, स्ट्रिंग के बारे में समझना है। नाउ लेट्स सपोज यू हैव रिटन हेलो ओवर हियर, राइट, एंड दिस हेलो। So now if you pass these two hellos over here, then this hello will be counted as let's say one as a frequency, and is hello की frequency another, let's say hello equal to one, and इसकी भी frequency let's suppose hello ऐसे आएगी। ये दो चीजें डिफरेंट डिफरेंट तरीके से काउंट की जाएगी। So guys, whenever you deal with any kind of good project, whenever you deal with such a huge amount of data, the first thing that we do is called as lower casing that particular string। कि मतलब हम लोग ये बोल रहे हैं कि भाई हमें कुछ झंझट नहीं चाहिए, आई वॉन्ट एवरीथिंग इन वन सिंगल फॉर्मेट, like I just want every single thing in a one single case, that's it। lower case means lower case, I don't want to go into the upper case now। Okay, that is what exactly called as lower casing, so that is like a very very important thing, right? I hope you might have understood, right? Means the use case or example that I'm trying to say। So lower case क्या करेगा, it will just try to convert everything to the lower case। Now if I just let's suppose you have already have written an algorithm equal to neural networks, you can see these n and r capital over here, right? So if you run this algorithm dot lower, जो भी है, सपोज ना आप टेक्स्ट लिखोगे, जो भी आप टेक्स्ट लिखोगे, टेक्स्ट इक्वल टू लेट्स से आपने लिखा ए बी सी समथिंग लाइक दिस, राइट? तो आप इसको रन करोगे, एंड इफ यू नाउ डू दिस टेक्स्ट टेक्स्ट, okay, text। now see guys, now understand here, as soon as I write the dot over here, see, these are all the different functionalities that your strings actually provide: capitalize, case code, center, count, find, format, index, right? All these things. But you don't need to by heart any one of them. So don't, see, now also we'll talk about almost 10 to 10 to 12 different functions। Okay, you don't have to worry कि यार मैं इसको याद कैसे करूंगा, how should I remember this? No, the only thing that we need to learn is how to write in a certain way, means what, how to google a certain thing, how to ask someone a certain thing, okay, yeah, this is the use case that I have, now what kind of functionality will be used over there, कौन सी फंक्शनलिटी वहां पे आप इसको यूज करोगे। जैसे मान लो आपको लोअर केस करना है, तो सिंपली राइट ओके या हाउ टू लोअर केस अ सर्टेन थिंग इन पाइथन, दैट्स इट। यू डोंट नीड टू रिमेंबर द सिंटैक्स। Okay, but see guys, one more thing, there are only certain, or there are only few functions which usually people use on a regular basis, and once you start using it automatically will remember all those things। Okay, so explicitly on a very first day you don't have to worry कि यार इसको by heart कैसे करना है, how should I, don't worry। Okay, whatever we are doing, keep on doing it। now if I do just do now let's say lower, see here, see here guys, see, everything is converted to the lower case। now similarly if I do this, you will see in lower case। okay, now what I told you guys, see what I told you, the strings cannot be manipulated। फिर एक कोई कोई क्या पूछ सकता है, यार सर यहाँ पे तो ये कैपिटल कैप्स लॉक में था, आपने तो बोला ये यू जस्ट सेड कि दिस इज द इनम्यूटेबल थिंग इन नेचर, बट देन हाउ डिड इट चेंज टू दिस वन नाउ, हाउ डिड इट चेंज टू दिस वन नाउ, मींस somehow you just change that particular thing, right? No। okay, what exactly happened was, let's suppose I'll show you one more thing, see here guys, now if I do let's suppose idea of this algorithm, okay, and now what I'll do, let's suppose now I want to again manipulate the same thing, let's suppose now if I do uh let's say I'll do something like this, let's say algorithm equal to algorithm dot lower, एक और, ठीक है मैंने क्या किया, अब मैं इसको मैनिपुलेट करने की कोशिश कर रहा हूँ। ओके, एंड अगर मैं यहाँ पे फिर से अगर इफ आई डू प्रिंट एल्गोरिथम एंड आइडिया ऑफ एल्गोरिथम, देखो लेट्स सपोज प्रिंट एल्गोरिथम, ओके, एंड आइडिया ऑफ एल्गोरिथम नाउ सी, देखो क्या हुआ, लेट मी जस्ट सी, यहाँ पे इट्स लाइक वेट, ये सिर्फ आखिरी वाला प्रिंट होगा, वेट वेट, सो व्हाट आई डू फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल, आई जस्ट प्रिंट दिस वन। और क्या आया, 696, मतलब क्या, this main algorithm it is stored in the block 696, this memory address is there। Now, when I'm trying to do the same thing again, now if I unmute, let's say, sorry, now if I run it, see here guys, this particular thing is stored into the 104, right? Means what guys? You did not manipulate the actual string that was available. What you did, you just created a separate, let's say a variable over there, and again you try to store that into the same value. But now the memory address is, let's say different. So means what I told you guys, you can manipulate it, but giving a some different name to it means you cannot change the original string that you have created. So therefore we call it as strings are immutable in nature. Okay. Now similarly guys, as we have a lower, we have upper. So means whatever things are there, everything will be converted to the uppercase. Now see, count method returns the count of string in the given string. Means what, unlike lower and upper, the count method string takes the string as a argument. अब जैसे मान लो कि what exactly, let's suppose now मैंने ये प्रिंट किया, ठीक है, प्रिंट एल्गोरिथम, ओके. तो अब now what I'm doing is, let me just, okay, now see here guys. Now मैंने क्या बोला, let's say I want to calculate what happened here. Yeah, okay. Let's suppose now I'll take one very simple string over here. Let's say string equal to, let's say, hello, my name is, okay. So now see here guys. Okay. Now if I just run this, so what exactly this count method will do? Count will try to calculate how many number of times that particular word or something has came into that particular string. Now let's suppose if I do something like this, let's say string dot count, string dot count. Count अगर मैं करूंगा, and let's say if I now want to calculate how many times NA has came. See here guys, it has came only one time. Now at the same time, if I write let's say what NA, now it will come zero. Why? Because what I told you guys, NA यहाँ पे तो है लेकिन that is a small case. What I told you, Python is a case sensitive language. यहाँ पे it will be NA over here and this is NA. That's two different things. Okay, ये दो different चीजें हैं, right? So this NA will be zero. At the same time, let's suppose now if you want to find out this one. Okay, now this is also another very important thing, right? पूरे string में से कुछ exact चीजें अगर आपको find out करनी, let's say someone told you, okay, this is a whole bunch of text you have, and from this I want to extract this particular part. You can directly use, find method, count method to use it, or just find it. You also have a find method, but count also. Okay. Now understand. Let's suppose now if you want to understand how many spaces are there. See, there are four spaces over here. If you remove this one now, no space, you'll see 21 no spaces are there. Means all the values over there. Okay, guys. So I hope everyone understood how exactly this count works. So count क्या करेगा? Whatever value that will pass over here, let's say you, it will just try to calculate how many times that particular, let's say multiple characters or one whole word is coming into that particular sentence and how many times it's coming. Okay. So all clear, everyone? So guys, how are you feeling? Like very difficult, okay, and understandable, how things are? Great. Okay. Now let's talk about what exactly the find will do. I think find, oh yeah, find will do. Now let's suppose now I have this thing written algorithm. So now algorithm dot find, if I do, okay, find only we did, right now? Oh, count we did, okay, find. So if I do now find, now see, the find will, understand here, find will return the index of the first occurrence of that particular string. अब आपने क्या बोला कि भाई find करो e कहाँ है? देखो e तो बहुत बार आएगा, यहाँ पे आएगा. Let's suppose now I'll write something like this. Yes, let's say string one. Okay, here let's suppose write q. Multiple times we'll write q like this. Okay. Now, if I find the q over here, see q over here, so it will occur the first occurrence. See here. Okay, wait. No, as method returns the index of the first occurrence of the string present in given string, similar to the count method. Find takes an string as an argument. Okay. Now see here. So now see, when I'm trying to find the q, so what happened? It gave a minus one, means it has given the last index of it. Okay. Means, okay, according to this thing, negative. Why it is taken negative? Let me just see. And suppose now I'm writing, say you are Oh no, I think, oh yes, the string one, right? Sorry. I'm taking algorithm, right? So therefore that happened. So now see here, guys. If I now find a A over here, so you will see that, see guys, zero and first number page there. Now similar, let's say if I write Q like this, okay. And now if I run it, and let's suppose if I now print Q over here, see here, guys, zeroth index means what I told you. Find will try to get the first occurrence of that particular character, whatever you have passed into the whole sentence. सबसे पहले जिस नंबर पे वो आया है वो नंबर वो रिटर्न करेगा. Okay, this is what we call the find method. That is what exactly it does. Now, second thing is, let's say if I write something like this, it is in the syntax error only. Let's say algorithm dot find neural. So neural is coming -1. Oh, I think it's somewhere else. I think. Let's say neural that works. Let's now try this one. Okay, now see here. It's a zeroth index, right? Yes, zeroth index पे हमारा है. So guys, this is how exactly this find function works. मतलब जो भी आपको find करना है, you can find it. Now understand here, guys. An important point to note here is that string which you are looking for is not contained in the original string. So therefore, then find method will try to return the -1. तो जैसे मान लो if let's suppose मान लो यहाँ पे we have q, let's say like this was there. Okay, let's say q is there, and let's suppose now you are trying to find a z over here. Let's say z. तो ये क्या करेगा, ऑटोमेटिकली इट विल रिटर्न -1 over here. Why? नहीं मिला तो -1 रिटर्न करेगा. हाँ, फ्रॉम दिस होल स्ट्रिंग आई डिड नॉट फाइंड इट, सो आई जस्ट वांट टू रिटर्न -1 over it. Got my point, everyone? Okay, wonderful. So that is how exactly this find will work. Now similarly, guys, now this replace is another very very important function now. Okay, as I told you, original string will not be replaced. Understand, original will not be replaced. You can manipulate it, you can try to create a new variable and try to store the whatever changes you have, but original will not be replaced. But this is the function that you have. Replace method क्या करेगा, it will take two different arguments. कौन से argument लेगा, the string to replace and to string to replace with. मतलब आपको कौन से स्ट्रिंग में चेंज करना है एंड किसके व्हाट चेंजेस यू हैव टू मेक, तो दोनों चीजें आपको लेगा, उस हिसाब से वो चेंज करेगा. अब जैसे मान लो लेट सपोज I have this print and algorithm. So let's say this is a, I'll just write, say, algorithm. Okay, neural net. Now understand here. And suppose now if I remove it, and let's say I asked him, let's say, yes, now run it. Now understand here. Let's suppose now if I write this one, तो मैं क्या बोल रहा हूँ, स्ट्रिंग डॉट रिप्लेस. अब रिप्लेस क्या करना है, मेथड टेक्स टू आर्ग्यूमेंट्स. मैंने ऐसे आर्ग्यूमेंट्स मतलब क्या कि वो दो चीजें अंदर लेगा. मैंने ऐसे थ्री आर्ग्यूमेंट्स मतलब तीन चीजें अंदर लेगा. आर्ग्यूमेंट मतलब क्या, व्हाट आर द डिफरेंट डिफरेंट प्लेस होल्डर्स यू आर टेकिंग इनसाइड दैट फंक्शन, एक सिंपल आसान भाषा में. ठीक है. नाउ जब आप फंक्शन पढ़ना स्टार्ट करोगे एट दैट पर्टिकुलर टाइम यू विल हैव मोर क्लियर आइडिया अबाउट व्हाट दीज आर्ग्यूमेंट्स आर. मतलब हम लोग आर्ग्यूमेंट कैसा लेते हैं, कितने आर्ग्यूमेंट्स लेते हैं, उसको यूज कैसे करना है, दैट्स द नेक्स्ट पार्ट. बट अभी के लिए इतना समझ लो कि ये दो चीजें एज ए इनपुट लेगा. मतलब क्या, ये फंक्शन जो है, आर्ग्यूमेंट मतलब आप समझ सकते हो कि इट इज आस्किंग फॉर इनपुट. कि हाँ फेसबुक है तो व्हाट आर द आर्ग्यूमेंट्स इट इज आस्किंग फॉर, फर्स्ट नेम, लास्ट नेम, ईमेल आईडी, बर्थ ऑफ डेट, एवरी सिंगल थिंग. So these are the inputs that it is asking for. That is what exactly you call it as the argument that it is asking for. So now similarly here what is doing, argument. तो string dot replace, वो दो चीजें क्या लेगा, string to replace and string to replace with. तो अब हमें क्या करना है, इसमें से ये स्पेस जो है, स्पेस को रिप्लेस करके उसको अंडरस्कोर की जगह उसको डालना. So sorry, dash here neural dash networks. Now let's say instead of this one I want to do something like this. Let's say string. Okay, let's say स्पेस की जगह मुझे डालना है कि यहाँ पे स्पेस नहीं होना चाहिए, एग्जाम्पल. ठीक है. सी सी न्यूरल, यहाँ पे स्पेस नहीं होना चाहिए. तो in simple terms what exactly we are trying to do is, here we are just trying to make sure that whatever thing you have to replace you can replace in this particular. Similarly now you can just look at this one, algorithm dot replace, let's say string one dot replace. मैंने क्या बोला यहाँ पे, एन जो लिया यहाँ पे लिखा है एन एन, उसको आपको रिप्लेस करना एल के साथ. ठीक है. तो जहां पे भी आपका एन होगा सारी जगह पे ल्यूरल लेट वर्क्स, राइट, नहीं राइट. सो बोथ द थिंग्स आर चेंज्ड ओवर हियर. Yes, Ninos.
So, but again, strings are not mutable, right? So, we are assigning, for example, string one is equal to neural network, and when we are replacing it, how it's possible?
That's what I explained you right now. Understand here. See, good question. See here. What I'm doing now, I'm writing this string one. Okay. And let's suppose I'll print, print, let's say ID of this string one. Fine. Okay. Now let's run it. So now this is ID of it. Now what I'm doing is, let's suppose now I'm trying to do, let's say this particular thing. Okay. Let's suppose now this is what exactly I'm trying to do. And let's try to store this into, let's say, something called as a new string. Okay. New string. Now, if I print the ID of this new string, understand? So what exactly I'm trying to say is, now see here, guys, the ID is completely different. Means in short, whatever was the original string that is created, we did not manipulate that particular string. That is what exactly I'm telling you. We are not manipulating the original string. Yes, we can actually write something like this and try to replace that particular thing. That is possible. But if I ask you, okay, I want to make the changes into this particular string directly, no, that is not possible. Okay.
So, if I
So,
understand,
Yes,
yeah,
yes.
if I understand correctly, Saurabh, so in memory, string one is having the two values. One is neural network, and the second one is whatever we are replacing.
Yes. So means what?
So,
In the list, when you will perform the list, no. So in the list, you will see that when I'm doing this particular thing, and when again I'm doing this particular thing, the address will not change. Address for both of them will be same only. Why? Because strings are mutable. Sorry, lists are mutable in nature. Means you can easily manipulate them, you can change them, you can do everything. But this is not possible in the strings. Okay. So you were saying something?
yeah, actually, I was saying, see, basically that string one is the first string, and you are adding in the second string is a comma. So basically, it is a new string created. So string one and string new string both are the in the same address.
No, they are not in the same address. No, see, where are they in the same address?
Okay, so you are saying it is in the list in the same address.
नहीं 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 see, what I'm trying to say is strings are immutable in nature. मतलब क्या?
Yes, true.
Yes.
This we are not able to change the string.
No, no, exactly.
Yes. Huh.
It's like पत्थर की लकीर बन गई तो बन गई.
Yeah, that's true.
So what we did was, yes, we have these methods, we can perform
Hmm.
these methods on it, but we are not changing the original string. Whatever changes that are happening, let's suppose now, see here, I'll show you one thing now. See, forget about this one now.
So basically, string one and new string are storing in the two different addresses because both are two different strings.
Exactly. अब यहाँ पे एक,
Okay, that's what I wanted to know. Are we storing in the same address or in the different addresses?
see different,
Okay.
ऑटोमेटिकली इट इज स्टोर्ड इनटू डिफरेंट. नाउ सी, एक बहुत इंटरेस्टिंग चीज. नाउ सी है, मैंने क्या किया, स्ट्रिंग वन मेरा ये है, ठीक है, ये मेरा स्ट्रिंग वन
Mm-hmm.
आ गया. अब यहाँ पे मैं क्या कर रहा हूँ, स्ट्रिंग वन डॉट रिप्लेस में यहाँ पे कर रहा हूँ. ठीक है, अब यहाँ पे मुझे क्या दिखा, न्यूरल डैश नेटवर्क, राइट. अभी मैं क्या करूंगा, लेट्स सपोज ना प्रिंट अगेन दिस वन, प्रिंट स्ट्रिंग वन नाउ. सी, इट इज एग्जैक्टली एज इट वाज. मतलब भले ही आपने यहाँ पे मेथड इसके ऊपर अप्लाई किया, लेकिन चेंजेस कहाँ हुए? चेंजेस आर लिमिटेड टू ओनली दिस पर्टिकुलर स्कोप. इसका स्कोप सिर्फ यही तक है. लेकिन इसने क्या किया, ओरिजिनल स्ट्रिंग के अंदर कुछ भी चेंज नहीं किया. ओरिजिनल से आपने देखो फिर से स्ट्रिंग वन प्रिंट किया, आप देख सकते हो इट एग्जैक्टली सेम एज दिस वन. एग्जैक्टली सेम एज दिस वन. Okay, so even let's suppose now if you do, let's say, replace this one. So now see, for this particular scope, now it is working fine. Okay, yeah, for this one, it has replaced n and l, all the things, that is fine. But now if I again run the string one, let's say below over here, see here, below over here, see here, original string has not changed. Though you applied some kind of method on it, you applied some kind of method, but original string was not possible to manipulate.
Okay. Good.
What my point? Okay, so
Yes.
therefore we call it as strings are immutable in nature. Up now see, when we will do the same kind of operation on the list, इसके बाद जो हम लोग पढ़ेंगे उसके अंदर आप देखोगे कि let's suppose if I now do this particular thing, now फिर से now when I'm printing a list, now उसके अंदर original list के अंदर ये changes reflect हो जाएंगे. Whatever changes you are doing here, they will be reflected into the original string, original list. Okay, Q, because lists are mutable in nature, means you can easily manipulate, change, you can do whatever things that you want to do with that, but that is not possible with the strings.
Yeah, just one doubt. So now, string one neural network, it is stored in one address, and we have replaced with new value, new string that is stored in same string one but in different address.
Huh.
Okay, if we are printing string one, so it is giving the neural network. If I
Yes,
want to print the second one,
I mean this one, right?
whatever replaced one, how can we do that?
So now see, now let's suppose now what happened was, let's say very simple use case. Okay. Now let's suppose in a company, simple use case can be what? Okay, you already have a one text, but what we are expecting is from that actual text, you want to make sure you are cleaning that particular text. Means you are lowercasing that particular text. You are trying to, let's say remove some kind of unnecessary things from the text, right? In short, what you are trying to clean that particular text. Now, when I say clean the text means what? Whatever was the original text, definitely you are going to do some kind of changes into it, right? Let's say simply if I say, okay, do the lowercasing. So means actual sentence, may let's suppose it was something like this. I am something like this. So now when I'm changing it to lowercase, it is going to be I am. Okay. Means what? Somehow we are trying to make the changes into it. So, but
Yeah,
now if I want to now see, definitely now see, अगर हम लोग changes कर रहे हैं, now if we are making a changes, mean why exactly we are making the changes? Because we need to store that particular changes, right? We need that particular changes, right? So therefore, what we do, we will try to store that changes into any new variable. Let's suppose I will say new string, something like this. So now if I want to now change this particular thing, let's suppose now if I want now print this one, let's say new string, and now if I print the new string, now you will everywhere you will see the neural network written like this only. See here, everywhere like this only it will be written. Okay, so this is how exactly we'll print it. Means what? Whatever changes you are making, you are actually storing that particular changes again into a new variable, and then you are storing that particular variable. Okay, now it's making sense. Still, if you have anything, just clear it around, right? Same.
yeah. So yeah, understood. Now we are giving the new variable name like new underscore string. For
Yes.
example, A is equals to neural network. I'm just giving a example. And again, I'm not modifying anything. I have given A is equals to, again, something ABC.
Let's do it. Let's wait. You said a equal to, let's say XY.
ABC, ABC. Yeah,
ABC.
ABC or XYZ. Yeah, and again, I'm giving A equals to DEF, for example.
Okay.
So now if I print, which one will take it?
So the same thing that we discussed yesterday, right? Now this is the variable. You have assigned a variable initially to A. Now if I print A anywhere, whatever next thing that you will run, it will be given to the same only. Hey, run A now. It will be DF only. Now if you again run ABC, now if you run A, it will be ABC. Now if you run it DF, again A, it will be now DF, right? So means from here, what exactly you want to ask? So let's suppose you are trying to say, I have already have, let's say string one equal to neural networks. Now from this
Yeah,
string, let's suppose now I will write again this particular thing, let's say string one, something like this.
yeah, yeah.
Okay, means what? Whatever was the original, now you again assign the same value of the original one to this particular one.
Correct, correct.
But now understand. Now understand here. What is the ID of this particular thing? This is the ID. Okay.
Yeah,
Original string will be stored over here in this ID. Now it is not changing. But now
correct.
understand here. See here. Now print ID of again string one here. See here, guys. Completely different address.
Yeah,
Means you did see, you can do that. You can definitely assign the same variable again to this one. Okay, you are saying, okay, whatever changes you are making, try to directly store all the changes into the same variable only. So it will be easy to use. Okay, but understand, always have a habit. You always try to keep the original as a original only. Never ever manipulate the original things. Original data हो गया, You will be dealing with the data sets now. Even in the data sets also, we always try to make the copy of one original data. Okay, you always have that. Why? Because you don't know what you know what might happen with that original data. You might manipulate it, you might change it, you might anything can happen. So you can actually lose the access to the actual data that you have. So always remember, never ever try to change the actual thing. Try to give the different variable name. What's the difference? Let's say you have string here. Is you can use string over here. Or let's say replace string over here. Modified string. Anything you can give. And you can give. But see here, addresses are different. But at the same time, now when you will try to replace the same thing in the, let's say, list, example, data type. So there you will see that the two of these particular addresses will be exactly same. Okay. So that is the simple meaning of how exactly we deal with the strings. Make sense everyone now? Everyone clear?
Yeah. All right. Thank you.
Now I think, yeah, see, now again, you can also do this now. Simple, the way you do the single word, you can just pass, okay, neural, replace the neural with artificial neural network, simply like this. We'll see, neural networks, I'll just write an algorithm. Algorithm equal to, let's say, okay. Now see here guys, now if I replace this, now what will happen? Artificial neural network. Instead of neural, हमने क्या बोला? Artificial neural को उसको change करो, change that with that. Now at the same time, now let's suppose if I write, let's say, replace neural this one, it will throw an error. Means nothing is modified. Why? Because you change the caps lock to the lowercase. But actually, we have seen that this is in the capital letter. So you will. So that's why I told you, right? It's a case sensitive language. You have to pass that into the caps lock only. Caps lock only. Right? So see, like this changes. Okay. Now I hope you understood this. So okay, I think we have already done this. Yeah. Okay. So now, guys, I think maximum of the things that we have already covered. Okay. So now what we'll be doing is now we'll be let's say doing one very small use case, right? I mean, so what we'll be doing? Let's take an example. Suppose let's say I'll give you a very simple use case. Okay. अब use case क्या होगा? Let's take an example. Let's say you have let's suppose I'll write it here. There are multiple things for you to study, right? I mean, not everything you need to go through because there are a lot of graphs and everything is there. उसकी अभी एक्चुअली रिक्वायरमेंट नहीं है। मैं आपको आई विल गिव असाइनमेंट, आपको मिल जाएगा थोड़े टाइम में। सो यू कैन ट्राई द असाइनमेंट ओवर देयर, बट डोंट नीड नो नीड टू गो इनटू ऑल दिस डिटेल्स। ओके। Okay. Now see here guys. Now the use case says, let's say let's suppose you are building a backend logic for let's say resume screening AI assistant। ठीक है, let's suppose you are trying to build a simple AI assistant जिसके अंदर आप क्या कर रहे हो, you are just trying to let's say create a simple backend logic जो क्या करेगा, रेज्यूमे देख के उसको स्क्रीन करेगा एंड जस्ट एन एआई असिस्टेंट जो उसको स्क्रीन करेगा। ठीक है। तो मीन्स व्हाट यू आर ट्राइंग टू क्रिएट, लेट्स सपोज स्मार्ट प्रॉम्प्ट फॉर्मेटर और रेज्यूमे पार्सर इन एआई रिक्रूटमेंट सिस्टम। ओके। लेट्स से आपको ये बनाना है। ओके। इसके लिए व्हाट यू आर डूइंग नाउ, लेट्स से यू आर रिस्पॉन्सिबल फॉर, लेट्स से यू आर रिस्पॉन्सिबल फॉर क्रिएटिंग let's say an backend logic। Okay, you are responsible for creating a backend logic for this particular thing, right? Now what exactly we'll do, see here. So what we need to do now, our idea is to clean spaces. Okay, now let's suppose if I give in more better way, say, yeah, okay, let's suppose I'll just write it. Okay, now see here. In this particular thing, now what you have to do, let's suppose you will get an input, right? You will get an input. Let's say the input can be how, let's suppose you are just writing a string, a simple variable लेंगे आप, and you can write anything over here, right? Let's suppose anything. Let's say my name is Raj. Example, example. Okay. Now let's suppose now. So what you are trying to do is, let's suppose you are working as a backend developer and you are just trying to create this AI powered recruitment system. तो पूरा task जो है, I'll just paste it to you. Okay. Now what you need to do is, you have to help your, let's say whoever is the proper core developer who is working. Now you are as a fresher. So what you need to do is, your task is to help prepare the raw user inputs so that they can be passed into the LLMs. Means you need to create the raw pass inputs over here, right? So that is a task that you have for you. Now assume, let's suppose now you have, let's say a lot of people, let's say you have, let's say a lot of people might write anything, right? They might write something like, so what you're asking them to write something like this. Okay, write your name, what kind of position you are applying for. So text can be anything, right? What kind of position you are applying for, what is your name, something like this. So people can write mix of the things. They can add the extra spaces over there. They can mix the, let's say random use cases. Means what? They can randomly write anything into capital, anything into small letters, right? So means what, guys? Whatever concepts that we have written today or understood today, you need to apply them all the in together, and then you need to solve this particular use case. Okay, so I'll be sharing a proper use case with you. Try with that. Along with that, there will be one more assignment that you need to do. Try both the things tomorrow. If you don't understand that, now see in that how exactly I'm expecting you to move forward. Let's suppose now, जैसे मान लो, लेट्स सपोज समवन गिवन इनपुट. ठीक है, जैसे मान लो एज एन इनपुट यू गॉट समथिंग लाइक दिस. इनपुट इज समथिंग लाइक दिस. लेट्स से हे आई एम Alex. Okay, and like these dots are there. Okay, applying for AI engineer role. Okay, now let's suppose something like this someone has written. Now what you need to do is, your task is to prepare clean formatted prompt sentence out of it. You need to create a very proper formatted logic from this out of this particular thing. Means what? It should be something like this. Means let's say when you're as a output, what you should get as a output, what I'm expecting as a output, let's suppose this is input. Output should be what? No, I think this will be more clear to you. Output will be something like, let's say candidate Raj Sharma is applying for the position of AI. Okay, this should be your output. Means what exactly you need to do now? See, यहाँ पे here you are not given the clear instructions. यहाँ पे क्लियरली आपको नहीं समझ में आ रहा है. माइट ऐसा हो सकता है कि नहीं समझ में आ रहा हो एग्जैक्टली क्या दिया है. बट नाउ थिंक लाइक अ डेवलपर. अंडरस्टैंड, थिंक लाइक अ डेवलपर. Now break down this whole problem into smaller chunks. Understand what kind of concepts we have learned today. Understand what exactly you can search. Now let's suppose simple example. What I told you, you need to clean the text. You need to do some kind of cleaning into the text. Means what? How will you clean the unnecessary white spaces or the special characters which are present in this data? क्योंकि हमारे पास क्या है, व्हाइट स्पेस है. लेट्स सपोज दिस व्हाइट स्पेस. I don't want that. I don't want to take my unnecessary space. So that is like cleaning into me. Now that comes under the part of cleaning. I need to remove that. So how will I do it? So we have already seen what is the function to remove the white spaces. I'll just apply that. Right? Then what I told you, how will you extract just the name and the job title from this sentence? How will you do that? For that, what we did, we have talked yesterday about something what called a split function, right? And for that, what you exactly will do now? From that split function, now we will try to use the find function, because हमें क्या करना है, नेम और नंबर निकालना है. तो विल ट्राई टू यूज द फाइंड फंक्शन. और जब आपको एग्जैक्ट वैल्यू मिल जाएगी तो व्हाट विल डू, आप सिंपली उसको फॉर्मेट के लिए क्या करोगे, फिर एफ स्ट्रिंग लिखोगे जहाँ पे सारी चीजें एक फॉर्मेट में लिखी है. राइट? मीन्स व्हाट, you have the use case real world, but now what we did, we just broke down that problem into smaller chunks. right? So like this now, guys, for this particular part, you will have minimum three different 3 to 4 problems to solve, and along with this use case will be there. Okay, so if you get any kind of issues, just let me know. We'll just try to solve it. So guys, everyone, first of all, everyone understood the session? Like everyone is clear with it? Any issues to anyone till here? Great. Okay then, guys. I think so. Thank you so much for joining, everyone. And I think we are good to go.